The Sportpuck Network welcomes you to this presentation of the Gridiron Simulation League.
Greetings to one and all, and welcome to the Newfoundland Chalk Thursday Night Football on the Sportpuck Radio Network. Bringing you the play-by-play tonight will be myself, Drew Abernathy, and my buddy right next to me, Jake Akbehavi. Now, we have to do one note for all the Sportpuck programming and also the COVID-19 programming. One little kind of like housekeeping note is Jake Akbehavi, not Akbayani. And Jake, do you want to explain why we're making this little change?
Well, my mother, God bless her soul, she just turned about 90-something years old recently, and she kind of sent me a note saying, "Hey, Jake, why don't you go by your Christian name, Jake Akbehavi, not Akbayani?" And I was like, well, it doesn't really matter. She's like, yeah, it sure does. Your family came over here from Lapland, and they really, you should represent them better than just going by whatever they want to call you. So, yeah, I kind of went with it because I'm like, hey, I'm on the radio. That's awesome. But God bless her soul, my mother, she wants me to kind of change things up. So it's Jake Akbehavi. V, not a Y.
Well, you know, I've met your mother. She is one saintly woman, and she could punch out one of the world's strongest men.
Man, she tell me about it. When I acted up as a kid, she'd whoop the hell out of me.
Oh, no, can we say that on here?
Well, I'm saying that she could whip the hell out of me. Jeez, man, what are you afraid of a little bit of hellfire damnation?
Well, I get that enough on Sunday, but tonight we have a matchup between two teams going in kind of opposite directions. Louisville started strong, the visiting Louisville Lightning. We're here at Beaver County Stadium in Happy Valley as the Louisville Lightning take on the Pennsylvania Keystones. Now, for the Louisville Lightning, things started off pretty strong, yet they've been really sliding lately. Jake, what are they going to need to do in order to kind of keep up with this high-powered Pennsylvania offense?
Well, first off, maybe hire some more players to be on the field to help them out. I don't know. Well, Drew, let's just put it this way. They're going to need to get Pennsylvania out of their heads. Now, what do I mean by that? This seems like a duh statement what I'm about to say, but as soon as they look on that schedule and they keep on seeing Pennsylvania, they keep getting stronger and stronger. It goes from 1-0 to 2-0, and now they're up to 6-0 here in our Week 7 Thursday Night Football game of the week. And every time you see that, you're like, oh my gosh, they're getting better and better and better. And one thing Louisville needs to do is protect that daggone football, not throw any interceptions, not make any mistakes. And they also need to get in that backfield and make Claude Vincent feel like he is not welcome in his own hometown. They need to make him feel uncomfortable, get some pressure up the middle, around the sides, whatever they need to do. And also that secondary needs to keep those receivers in front of them. And if they could do that, they might have a chance to, keep up pretty strong with this pretty good Pennsylvania Keystones team.
Well, thank you, Jake, for that. Now, on the other side of the equation, Jake, what does Pennsylvania need to do in order to protect the home dam?
You said dam. What are they?
Like a beaver dam, Jake. Come on.
Well, okay. What does Pennsylvania need to do? Just beat Pennsylvania. They went up to Toronto. They gave Toronto all sorts of fits on their home field, and they scared the Tar Nation out of them and the rest of the league when they made that statement win. Right now, they're number one in the power rankings, in the Snellick power rankings. Their defense is pretty good. Just get that push. Keep getting that push up front with that front three, wherever they want to play up front. And also have those active linebackers just flying all over the place. And if they can keep the front seven of their defense occupying that front five, and also the quarterback, though, that secondary is just going to have one heck of a day when it comes to playing against this Louisville team that's kind of on the slide.
Well, Jake, thanks so much for those keys to the game. For this week's Thursday Night Football, we'll get all the kinks out. This is it's been kind of a rough week around here. When we come back after these brief messages, we will have our opening kickoff live from Beaver Stadium in University Park, Pennsylvania. You're listening to the Newfoundland Chalk Thursday Night Football on the Sportpuck Radio Network.
Boys, what are you at? So listen now, you're trying to get off to work, the wife is busting your arse, the youngsters are home cracked, and your nerves are gone. And to top it all off, you forget your chalk. Thunder and dying, I knows you're not rotted. Shag Detcher. Head on over to the chalk store, old man, and grab a brace before you goes. That's all you needs to do. It'll be best kind. No worry, my son, the chalk man got you looked after. Some shagging good, me buddy, I'll guarantee you. Newfoundland Chalk. We got the chalk for all your needs.
Hey everybody, it's your buddy Jake Akbehavi back once again for Margot's High Class Palace. Now, my mom called me up and said, you need to go by your Christian name, and that's Jake Akbehavi. So, I'm back once again, and you know what? I told Devontae about what's happening, and Devontae kind of chuckled, said, you know what? Let's have a Your Mama's Awesome sale. If you go into Margot's High Class Palace right now, you can tell them your mom's awesome. Why is everybody chuckling? Seriously, if you tell them your mom's awesome, Devontae and crew will give an extra 15% off your upcoming rental of a tuxedo or a evening gown or just whatever for shindig season. And they'll make sure that you're taken care of. And also, don't worry, you can also get your scrub mongering needs taken care of over at Margot's High Class Palace. So it's the Your Mom's Awesome sale over at Margot's High Class Palace. And tell them your buddy Jake Akbehavi sent you. Why are you all chuckling at me?
Hi there.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
What's that smell?
Excuse me.
No, not that smell, the other smell.
It smells like fish.
That's right. It's fresh fish. And if it's the freshest fish, it must be from... What's the name of the place? From Kingman's.
Yeah, Kingman's.
Kingman's Fresh Market. If it smells fishy, it's Kingman's. Located between Japantown and Chinatown, right off of Nob Hill.
This is the Newfoundland Chalk Thursday night football game on the Sportpuck Radio Network. And I am Drew Abernathy, and I am joined by Jake Akbehavi, and we will have our call for tonight's game. Jake, what are your final thoughts before they put the toe to the old pigskin?
Well, I'm excited for this game. I hope Louisville shows up tonight, honestly, Drew. They've had a rough go of it lately. They're 3-4 in the season, and they seem to not be getting any better. They're wanting to go back to 500 and possibly fight for one of those wild card spots in the playoffs yet. If they don't show up tonight, Pennsylvania is going to just eat their lunch. They're going to be straight in their jock straps and know what they ate for the past couple days.
Well, you're hoping that they haven't had much fiber.
Well, the way they're playing, they ain't moving much. You know, they lost last week to Cincinnati, who visited them and whooped up on them. And previous to that, they had an easy go of it with the Louisville Lightning. But, you know, that's just one game. And they've been going the other way. And hopefully this week they can pick that right back up and get back up to 400 or 500, 400, what the heck, 4-4 at 500. Yeah, there you go. Yet this week they're playing a buzzsaw in this Pennsylvania Keystones team that is just ready for a deep, deep playoff run.
Well, I hope to heck that we get a great game out of both these two squads because, you know what, the past few weeks on the GSL Game of the Week, we've had some great, great games coming out of it, whether one team's heading, inching closer to the playoffs. Another one is being kind of left behind, like last week, Dallas versus Oakland. This week, never know. We could get a great game, and hopefully we get a great game out of these two teams. Well, looks like Pennsylvania has deferred to the second half, and they are going to come on out and kick it to the Louisville Lightning. Pennsylvania going left to right on your radio dial, and Louisville going right to left. Up to kick it is the punter, Andrew Nichols. He sets up. He steps over to the left-hand side to get ready for the right-footed kick. He trots up and he puts toe to leather, and we are underway here at Beaver Stadium in University Park, Pennsylvania. And he's going to go through the end zone for a touchback, and Louisville will get it from their own 25-yard line.
You know what? In a situation like that, it's just wise to let that ball go. You do not want to bring that out, especially with this swarming Pennsylvania defense, or the defense, special teams, whatever. They get it done in all three levels of the game.
Leading the Lightning out onto the field from their own 25-yard line is number 7, Jamil Davis. Now, Jamil Davis, he's got some wheels on him. He is not afraid to put foot to ground to try and get a first down to help out his team.
Yeah, he uses his feet to keep the plays going, whether it's passing downfield or even using his feet to get around the ends or go between the tackles and try to get yards on the field the hard way.
Jamil is set up in the shotgun with Jones to his left. He's got two by two on either side, no tight ends. He takes the chest high snap, he steps back, and he hands it off. It's a wrap draw to his running back, Corey Jones, who tries to get around the left end for a no gain. Right there was Devontae Best with the tackle.
There you go. There you have it right there. Pennsylvania's trying to establish dominance up front in the trenches. And with those front four, this time they're going with a four-man front that allowed getting a little bit of a push into the backfield that allowed that Roman linebacker, Devontae Best. Well, he's not from Rome, but he roams all around. He plays from sideline to sideline. That dude has a motor on him, and there you saw him standing up that good running back, really good running back, Corey Jones, for a no gain.
That'll bring up 2nd down and 10 from the Louisville 25. Jamil back in the shotgun, going 3 by 2, empty backfield. He takes the waist-high snap, drops back. He looks over the right-hand side, and the pass is broken up by cornerback Billy Mullins, the pass intended for his running back, Trey Bartleby.
Yeah, they've got to try and do something to get down this field because with that front four as active as they are, they have got to find a way to counteract the aggressiveness of this Pennsylvania defense.
Jamil back in the shotgun. Corey Jones to his left-hand side. 3 men to his left, 1 to his right. They're going right to left on your radio dial. Jamil takes the chest-high snap, drops back. It looks like it's a screen pass to Corey Jones, who goes between the tackles. He's out of the 30, the 35, the 40, the 45, and he is brought down by a combo tackle from that he got into the defensive secondary by Marquise Allen and Herbert Mendoza.
Don't hurt yourself, Drew. Just stick to the plan, and we'll get through this the right way. Give a lot of credit to those front five for getting the blocks up front, and also great credit to the offensive coordinator for getting that call down to the field to try and counterbalance the aggressiveness of that front four. My goodness. Normally that play doesn't go far, but that center screen just opened up the field for Louisville.
All right, Louisville back at it from their own 45-yard line. Jamil Davis under center now. 2 men to each side and 1 in the backfield. Jamil takes a snap. 5-step drop, and he looks over the right side and connects with DeMarcus Wilson for an 8-yard gain. And we're moving into Pennsylvania territory.
That's what they need to do. They just need to keep attacking and not be afraid of this Pennsylvania defense.
Tackle made by number 23, cornerback Billy Mullins. 2nd and 2. That'll bring up 2nd and 2 from the Pennsylvania 47. Jamil Davis in the shotgun with a running back to each side. And out in the flats, he has a single man and 1 single tight to the right-hand side. He takes the waist-high snap, drops back, fakes the handoff, and across the middle, he finds DeMarcus Wilson for 12 yards, and we're moving the chains. 1st down, Louisville.
Like I keep on saying, they need to keep attacking. Make Pennsylvania respect the pass, and if they have to respect the pass, that means that front 7 now becomes a front 4, and they can counteract whatever Pennsylvania wants to throw at them. And they're going after the defensive secondary as they found an opening across the middle for 1st down Pennsylvania.
I'll bring up 1st and 10 from the
1st down Louisville.
That's right. We're trying to get this all straight. 1st and 10 Louisville from the Pennsylvania 32. Jamil back in the shotgun. 1 man to his left, twins to either side, and 1 single tight to his right. He takes the knee-high snap a little bit low. He rolls out to his right, and he looks across the middle, and he finds his receiver, C.J. Brown, for a 12-yard gain. 1st down, Louisville from the Pennsylvania 23.
Keep saying it. And also, you got to give credit to Devontae Best once again showing that motor and getting after C.J. Brown and keeping that from getting out of his hands and into the end zone for 6.
Jamil Davis this time goes under center. Pro set in the backfield. Twins to his left, tight to his right. First and 10 for the Lightning. Jamil Davis under center, pro set in the backfield. Twins to his left, single tight to his right. Looks like he's calling out an audible. Play clock rolling. He gets back under center, takes a snap, fakes the handoff, and now he rolls out to his left, and he's looking for C.J. Wilson once again, and it is dropped. DeMarcus Wilson, and it is dropped, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10 from the Pennsylvania 23.
Yeah, Drew, looks like there's some adjustments there. Pennsylvania went single high coverage, and they brought in a nickelback to try and, show me a photograph. Now,
Jake, do you really need to sing in this situation?
well, it's Nickelback, and I love Nickelback.
All right, Jake, I'll give you that. You do love you some Nickelback.
That's right, Drew, and you don't forget it.
Jamil Davis breaks the huddle. Looks like he has trips to his left, dubs to his right. No one in the backfield with him, and he calls a timeout. Doesn't like what he sees, and since they're going to take a timeout, we'll take a timeout as well. 11:24 to go in the first quarter. Your score from Beavers Stadium in State College, Pennsylvania. Louisville nothing, Pennsylvania nothing. You're listening to the Newfoundland Chalk Thursday Night Football on the Sportpuck Radio Network.
Boys, what are you at? Now listen what I'm telling you. What do all the famous plays from the NFL history, the 65 toss power trap, the ghost to the post, the Hail Mary, and all that, what do they have in common? They started with an idea on a chalkboard with a piece of chalk, Newfoundland chalk. So all you GSL owners, make sure your 8 is not a 9. Make sure your X is not a 0. Trust Newfoundland chalk for all your imaginary plays. We got pink, yellow, green, red, blue, you name it. Well, we're out of white right now because of the COVID situation, but we'll get it back in stock soon. So come on down to Newfoundland Chalk, get your plays right. Come on down, we got the chalk for all your needs. Newfoundland Chalk, we got the chalk for all your needs.
Well, blow me down, me hearties. This be matey Paisley Pete for the fair shop in all the land and on the waters. Davy Jones Footlocker. Ye needn't be heading to yon ends of the earth to be finding the greatest deals on the best footwear you'll be finding on the 7 seas. Dead men may tell no tales, but you'll be singing the shanties of Davy Jones Footlocker after discovering all the quid you'll be saving. Bring about the horizon that'll lead ye to the fair's port on the waters. Davy Jones Footlocker, they be yar. Hey you gotta wake up. You look like you're so tired you could sleep through a nuclear bomb. It looks like your status quo has become a status uh-oh. So here, crack open a can of Strontium 90 Cola. Its atomic blend of raspberry, citrus, and guanana will collide with your insides to take you from a status uh-oh to a status go. So when you need a blast to help pick you up, grab a can of Strontium 90 Cola, bottled by Star City Sodas in the Star City of Roanoke, Virginia. Proud sponsors of the GSL Game of the Week.
You're listening to the Newfoundland Chalk Thursday Night Football game on the Sportpuck Radio Network, and I am Drew Abernathy, and I'm joined by Jake Akbehavi. We'll be giving you the call here from University Park in beautiful Pennsylvania as the Louisville Lightning have traveled up the road to take on their cross-the-state line rivals in the Pennsylvania Keystones.
Man, I'll tell you what, on social media this past week, these two teams have been chirping at each other. Holy cow. Some of the Louisville players were saying to the Pennsylvania players, y'all ain't from Pennsylvania. You're just the extension of Kentucky. They call you guys Pennsyltucky.
And the Pennsylvania players did not take too well to that, and so there might be a little bit of bad blood going on the field with all the talking and chirping going on between these two teams. Man, I hope it's not too bad because I want to get through this game without too much fight.
I like a good fight every once in a while.
I know you do. You started brawls when you were up in Winnipeg.
You're dang straight I did. I got into a tussle with Angelo Mosca, and holy cow, not only could he wrestle, that dude could fist fight as well.
Come from the sidelines after that break. Jamil Davis is leading his team back onto the field as the storm clouds hurry on up to the Pennsylvania 23-yard line. Takes a snap, hands it off to Trey Bartleby, who tries to get around the right end, and he is tackled there by Brent Hoover after a short gain. That'll bring up second down for the Lightning.
Yeah, they tried to catch him off guard coming, off the sidelines and hurrying up to the line of scrimmage. And man, Pennsylvania had their number called, and they weren't letting him get further down the yard. That's what it's with. Further down the yard before Mama came out of the house and started whooping up on some people.
That'll bring up 3rd and 8 from the Pennsylvania 21-yard line. Jamil Davis in the shotgun. One man to his left, trips to his right, one single out to his left. Jamil Davis takes a chest-high snap, fakes a handoff, rolls out to his left, and he's going for it all. And the ball falls incomplete. It looks like he was going for it all with the receiver, Dontrez Crittenton, but it fell right off his fingertips, and that'll bring up 4th down for the Lightning.
When you have a chance like that, you better take it. And there, Dontrez looked like he just got behind the defense, and the ball should have been brought in by him. If you could touch it, you should bring it in. And he wasn't able to do so, and that brings up 4th down for the Lightning.
Looks like the Lightning are going to go for a field goal here. Kyle Pierre-Lewis has been pretty decent on the years, missed a few. And right now looks like he is going to sit up from 39 yards out to see if he could split the uprights and get the Lightning on the board first. The holder has taken the snap, puts it on the ground. Pierre-Lewis puts his right through it, and it is good. The first points of the day go to the Louisville Lightning, and when either team makes a field goal during the GSL season, Kingman's Fish Market will donate $1,000 to a local charity of the team's choosing. It looks like Louisville's getting the first $1,000 to give to charity from tonight's game, and that is Kicks for Kids, brought to you by Kingman's Fish Market. What's that smell? It's Kingman's Fish Market. Now they have did you know about this, Jake?
I didn't know.
They have a new shop opening up in Oregon Inlet, North Carolina.
Is that on the Outer Banks?
Yep, it sure is. Well, we'll continue our coverage of the Gridiron Simulation League after a word from our sponsors. This is the Sportpuck Radio Network. This is Goose for the finest fish market this side of the Pamlico Sound. Kingman's Fish Market. Kingman's known round this fair land for the best quality fish for the best prices. Don't be getting mummicked by them dingbatter fish markets who are nothing but middlemen, wanting only what's right for them and not caring about you and me. So head on up to or down the waterside to the best fish market round these parts. Kingman's Fish Market, now located up in Oregon Inlet. Kingman's is located in Anchorage, San Francisco, and now Oregon Inlet, North Carolina. So what's that smell? It's Kingman's Fish Market. Hoit hoit on the sound side. Local 58, WCLV. We were the first television station in Mason County, and we are still here to bring you great local weather, sports, news, and paid programming. We're the ones that you have come to trust and should trust when it comes to all things Mason County. We were the first ones here for you, and we've been here for you through thick and thin. We're WCLV, Local 58. We've always been there. Hey you gotta wake up. You look like you're so tired you could sleep through a nuclear bomb. It looks like your status quo has become a status uh-oh. So here, crack open a can of Strontium 90 Cola. Its atomic blend of raspberry, citrus, and guanana will collide with your insides to take you from a status uh-oh to a status go. So when you need a blast to help pick you up, grab a can of Strontium 90 Cola, bottled by Star City Sodas in the Star City of Roanoke, Virginia. Proud sponsors of the GSL Game of the Week. Hey kids, it's me, Crinkles the Clown, for the cereal you'll murder for. Sugar Crinkles. Its blend of whole wheat and rice bran is covered in sugar-coated murder that will help unlock the voices leading you down the path you were destined for. And each box of Sugar Crinkles is a sigil, and if you collect them all, you'll be able to bring forth the being that will help you down the path to delicious destruction. So hurry on down to your local store or occult shop and get you a box of Sugar Crinkles, the cereal you'll murder for. This is the Newfoundland Chalk Thursday night football game on the Sportpuck Radio Network. And I am Drew Abernathy, and joined by my colleague, Jake Akbehavi. Now, just after that kick and after we'd just gone into the break, there was a little bit of action on the field, wasn't there, Jake?
Yeah, the punt, the kicker, holy cow, the kicker, Kyle Pierre-Louis, he ain't but 5'3", and he can't be 100 pounds soaking wet. Just started jawing at the Pennsylvania special teams, and they took exception to that. I mean, one of their big linemen just, he was like, if you're going to talk junk to me, I'm going to be up in your face and let you know that you are not going to get away with such language. And the refs had to separate both sides, but, you know, that's big talk from a little guy.
Well, you know, sometimes it's the little guys you got to worry about.
You ain't joking. I got to fight with a 4'10" little person. I don't think you say midget on the air anymore, but 4'10" little person, and he gave me one heck of a brawl. I'll give you that. I whooped him, but it took me a while. I just couldn't do it.
Well, Jake, I think you. Thanks for watching your language here.
Oh, no problem, Drew. No problem, Drew. I try to do it for the fans.
Kyle Pierre-Louis is leading the special teams onto the field, the kicking squad onto the field to kick this ball to start the second drive of the afternoon. He makes sure both sides are ready. He run towards the ball and puts the right foot through, and the ball sails through the end zone for a touchback. Pennsylvania will start their first drive of the game from their own 25-yard line.
Now, some people you need to watch out for here on this Pennsylvania offense. Number one, as always, Claude Vincent. That kid has been leading this squad to some pretty impressive wins. Also give a look-see to Taquan Rogers. Now, this guy can scoot. You give him an inch and he will take a touchdown from you. Let's just put it that way. And also, tight end Chad Vincent, who's Claude's older brother. He got into the league a little bit earlier than Chad did. And he is one of those tight ends that if you're going to tackle him, you better not do an arm tackle. Because if you do, he's going to drag you for another 5-15 and he'll get a first down, and he'll let you know about it too. He is not afraid to get in your face if you decide to be nasty on the field.
That's right. We have seen him do a lot of damage to some secondaries over the past few weeks. Claude Vincent leads his squad out into the field. It'll be 1st and 10 from the Pennsylvania 25. He's set up in the shotgun, dubs to either side, and they're going left to right on your radio dial. He's got one man in the backfield with him. He takes a chest-high snap, hands it off to Taquan Rogers, who's going up the right side, and he's breaks maybe for 1-2 yards, and he is brought down by number 50, Jesse Johnson. It'll bring up 2nd and 8 for the Keystones.
Now, we talked about best on the Keystone defensive side. On the Lightning defensive side, we may call Jesse Johnson's name quite a few times on the day.
Claude Vincent hurrying things up back in the backfield, joined by Taquan Rogers. Dubs to either side. They like this 2-by-2 formation. He takes the waist-high snap, rolls out to his right, and looks like he's going on a wheel route to Taquan Rogers, who is trying to get around the right side and is brought down by a defensive tackle, Latavius Mariani. Wow, give the big man some credit for using them wheels, and it'll bring up 3rd and 2, 3rd and short for the Keystones.
Do not underestimate a man on a mission, and Latavius Mariani was that man, and the mission was bring down Taquan Rogers. Because if you don't try to if you put a half, effort in trying to bring down Rogers, he's just like that other Vincent boy. He will drag you for at least 5 more yards down the field.
Vincent trying to hurry things up. Has 2 men in the backfield on either side. 2 to his left, 1 single tight to his right. Takes the chest-high snap, hands it off to his fullback, who goes up the middle, and he is brought down just around the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of 1. That'll bring up 4th down for the Keystones.
This is kind of a turn of events for the Keystones, ain't it? You would expect after a striking score by the Lightning. See what I did there, Drew? Yeah, good playing words, Jake. Thank you. You think after a quick strike that, Claude Vincent would have a wild hair to get down the field. Yet right there, give credit to that Louisville defense. And they were like, you ain't scoring on us right now. We are going to make your life miserable. And so you get your first 3 and out by Pennsylvania. That rarely happens. And out comes Andrew Nichols to put the ball down the field for the Keystones. Yeah, that's right. We don't see Andrew Nichols very often. And Nichols sets 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage, gets the chest high snap, and he booms it down the field. Looks like he's trying to get a coffin corner, and, well, it went out of bounds before he could get it deeper into the red zone. Looks like Louisville is going to get a decent spot out of this, and it'll be 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Yeah, that was a favorable spot because that ball was booted, and they are lucky it didn't roll down for, deeper into the red zone.
Jamil Davis comes back onto the field as it looks to be a 1st and 10 from the Louisville, 1st and 10 from the Louisville 20. They got kind of lucky there. The Louisville Lightning did that ball stayed inbounds, as Jake was just talking about. 1st and 10 from the 20. Jamil Davis set up in the backfield with one running back to his right. He's got a 2x2 going in front of him. He takes a snap, hands it off to Bartleby. Bartleby tries to get around the right end, and he does, and he is brought down 5 yards down the field by Devontae Best and Marcus Ikapuna Imoana.
You've been wanting to say some of the Polynesian names for a while now, haven't you?
Hey, it's a challenge. They're not always necessarily easy to say. Yet, Ikapuna Imoana, he's a good kid, too. I remember meeting him when he was in college back west, and, man, he's got a great attitude. He's one of the defensive leaders, probably one of the spiritual leaders on this team, and really makes an impression with people he meets.
Yeah, I got to meet him as well earlier, and my gosh, I don't know if you could wipe the smile off his face with Clorox wipes. Holy cow.
Davis back in the shotgun. Jones to his left, 3 receivers to his right, 1 tight to his left. Takes the chest-high snap, hands it off to Jones, and he is immediately caught in the backfield by Devontae Best for a loss of 2. That'll bring up 3rd and 7 from the Louisville 23.
Devontae Best must have known what was about to come because as soon as he heard the snap, he was in the backfield, and he was making him breakfast. He was like, what do you want to wear for today, sweetheart? Because I'm in your house, and we're going to become best buds, as he brought him down to the ground.
That's pretty descriptive there, Jake.
I know. I like it. I like a good story,
Here we go. 3rd and 7 from the Louisville 23. Davis back in the shotgun. Takes a chest-high snap. Rolls to his right, and he finds his tight end, Justin Turner, who turns around and he's rumbling down the field, and he's brought down by Marquise Allen. Looks like it'll be a 1st down, Louisville.
That's right. Who is the best friend of a young quarterback? You guessed it, a good tight end. And, man, Justin Turner said to his young quarterback, you got a friend in me, and helped them move the chains for a 1st down, Louisville. It'll be 1st and 10, Louisville from the Louisville 34 with 6:07 remaining in the first. Davis in the shotgun. Bartleby to his left. He hands the ball off to Bartleby. Bartleby finds a little bit of room, and he breaks through to the 40, to the 45, to the 50, and he is brought down at the 41. Gain of 25 on the play. 1st down in Pennsylvania territory. Goodness gracious, just when you think that you have to worry about Corey Jones, you got to worry about Trey Bartleby, because my goodness, did he squirt through that front 5 and just got into the defensive 3rd and helped this team move the ball down the field.
It'll be 1st and 10 from the Pennsylvania 41 with 5:24 to go in the first quarter. Jamil Davis in the shotgun. Takes a chest-high snap, rolls out to his right, and the ball falls incomplete. Looks like he was going once again to his big tight end, Justin Turner. And that'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Lightning. Jamil Davis hurries up the offense to get back to the line of scrimmage. Looks like he's going with a 3-by-1. 3 to his right, 1 to his left. 1 running back, Corey Jones, in the backfield to his left. He takes the snap. Rolls out to his right and finds C.J. Brown down the field for a 15-yard gain. Brought down by Devontae Best, and we're moving the chains once again for a first down, Louisville.
As we talked about on their first drive, you've got to keep fighting. You do not want to let this team get in your head. And when you find an opening, you've got to take it, because any chance this Louisville Lightning team can take, they need to take it, because this is a hard-nosed Keystone defense that they are playing up against.
It'll be 1st and 10 from the Pennsylvania 26. Jamil Davis in the backfield. He's got Darius Anthony back there with him. He's got a 2-by-2 up on the line of scrimmage. Takes a snap, hands it off to Anthony. Anthony's trying to get around that left end, and he does, and he's brought down by Quintavious Copeland after a gain of 7, but there is a flag on the play. We'll go down to the field for the call. That'll move, that little bit of laundry will move the Lightning back. Just as they were within striking distance, they're going to have to move back. That was going to be 1st and 10 from the 13. You know, their first venture into the red zone. Now it's a 1st and 20 from the Pennsylvania 23.
Here's how I like to think of it. You move further back, you just have more room to work with in front of you.
Well, that is a pretty positive outlook there, Jake.
I know, they don't call me Mr. Positive, little ray of sunshine for nothing.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Louisville's looking at a 1st and 20 from the Pennsylvania. Let me get that right. From the Pennsylvania 23. Davis with one back in the backfield with him. That's Corey Jones, and he's got a 2-by-2 up front. He takes the chest-high snap. Hands it off to Jones. Jones trying to get off guard, and he is brought down at the line of scrimmage by big Alan Wong for no gain. 2nd and 20 for Louisville.
My goodness, Alan Wong just blew up Chris Dupree like he was a balloon at a little kid's birthday party. My goodness, and he is not a small young man, let me tell you. And also, he just reached out with one hand, and he's one of the few people I think that could get away with an arm tackle on Corey Jones, because he just reached out and he took down both the guard and Jones for a no-gainer right there. Yeah, wow, that was just a sheer display of power brought on by the defensive tackle for the Pennsylvania Keystones. 2nd and 20 from the 23, Jamil Davis in the shotgun. Empty backfield, 3-by-2 in front of him. Takes a snap, rolls out to his right. He's got a receiver open, and he connects with Terrell Smith, who turns it upfield. He's at the 15. He's at the 10, and he's brought down at about the 7-yard line. Actually, no, it's not 1st and goal. It'll be 3rd and 4 for the Lightning, as Jamil Davis threw a dart to his receiver, Terrell Smith, for the first down. Yeah, and Mullins was kind of caught off guard there, and he took a stutter step when he saw that ball zip past him, and luckily he's got some good closing speed, because if he hadn't, that would have been 6 points for the Lightning.
Jamil Davis hurries up to the line of scrimmage, goes under center. He's got 2 tights to either side and a single back in the backfield. Takes a snap, drops back 3 yards, and now he decides to call his own number. He goes around the right end, and he gains 6 yards almost into the end zone, and he's brought down by Quintavious Copeland. That'll bring up a first down from the Pennsylvania 1.
That is one of those situations where you've got, another set of downs to get into, because they would have felt robbed if they had been facing a 4th down, and luckily it's 1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Jamil Davis makes sure everybody is down in front of him. 7 on the line. Pro formation in the backfield. Goes under center. Takes a snap. Hands off to Corey Jones, who goes straight up the middle and into the end zone for a touchdown. Louisville. They have cracked off 9 quick points
And Louisville is up 9-0 over the number one team in the GSL, the Pennsylvania Keystones.
My goodness, they have been on a roll here in the first quarter. Give credit to their offensive coordinator for drawing up a daggum good game plan they can build off of for the rest of this game.
They're going to go for the single after the score. Kyle Pierre-Louis sets up now. Kyle Pierre-Louis, he's a little mouthy now.
Yeah, I know. He almost got himself into a fight with one of them big defensive linemen.
He sets up. The snap is taken, put on the ground. Right foot is through, and the extra point is good. Kyle Pierre-Louis brings the score. Louisville 10, Pennsylvania nothing. And after that kick, we'll pause for 60. We'll continue our coverage of the Gridiron Simulation League after word from our sponsors. This is the Sportpuck Radio Network.
Aye, me hearties, we best be making waves. Paisley Pete, we're not dead?
I'm glad I didn't go toward the light.
Well, you were giving up the ghost, but I had a bit of magic to get you back to this plane. Black magic? Is it mattering now? You best be putting leather to wood as to be avoiding that black-hearted demon spawn.
I guess this is where a hook comes in handy. This that hell-bent Harlequin.
Paisley, what do? We be standing steady under the black flag. Oh, Paisley Pete! By Calypso's embrace, be gone ye spawn of Poseidon. You know that a bowl of my murder-covered rice puffs will shiver your timbers and follow the horizon to that what you were born to do. What be these roasts be doing round me? Let the power of a nutritious breakfast help you go on account to those forces building up inside of you.
No!
I'm sorry, me hearties. Sacrifice your hunger on the altar of a balanced breakfast. Make Sugar Crinkles a part of your manifesto to start your day. It's Sugar Crinkles, the taste you'll kill for.
Yar. No!
Welcome back to the Newfoundland Chalk GSL Thursday Night Football game on the on the Sportpuck Radio Network. I'm so used to being back in the studio, Jake.
I know, Drew, you do a lot of work for them.
I know, right? And right now we got one other game going on right now. It is an exhibition game from Salt Lake City on Trap City, USA, where the GSL Developmentals are trying to make it 3 in a row over the Salt Lake Trappers. And currently in the first quarter, the score is tied up at 3 apiece.
Them generic guys are pretty good. They have really taken it to the Salt Lake squad.
Boy, they sure have. And they've been some pretty exciting games. I saw it where Salt Lake had that lead, and then all of a sudden 14 straight points were scored by the Developmentals.
I know that generic quarterback, he's pretty good. And you know, Von Generico, one of his receivers, he can light up a scoreboard.
Well, our score here from Beaver Stadium in University Park, Pennsylvania, it's the Louisville Lightning 10, Pennsylvania nothing. And credit Jamil Davis for being steady in the storm, because Pennsylvania has been trying to eat his lunch all day. 48 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Kyle Pierre-Louis looks to kick off from his own 35. He makes sure both sides are snapped. His right hand goes in the air. He starts running towards the ball. Right foot through the pigskin, and it is up in the air. And it looks to be caught by Casey Harrington, and he's bringing it out of the end zone. He cracks over to the 10, the 15, and he is brought down by Jonathan Sosa. A return of 20 yards. It'll be 1st and 10 from the Pennsylvania 18.
That was a daring move by their kick returner, because I would have let that go, because you would have gotten a better start from the 25. Yeah, you know, sometimes you just got to roll the dice and go with it.
That's right, Jake. As we wind down here in the waning seconds of the first quarter, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Keystones from their own 18 with 43 seconds left in the first quarter. Claude Vincent brings the boys back out onto the field. They're going left to right on your radio dial. He sets up in the shotgun, one running back to his left, trips to his right, one single tight end to his left. Takes the belt high snap, drops back, He pumps once, he pumps twice. Over to his left-hand side, he swapped the field, and he connects with Isaac Dixon for a gain of 9 on the play.
And there's that one guy that we told you about earlier, Jesse Johnson. We're probably going to call his name as much as we do best, because he saved that for going for 6.
Claude Vincent hurries up the offense to the new line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 1 from the Pennsylvania 27.
Drew, you're wanting that to be a first down. I'm trying to get through this game as best as I can.
2nd and 1 for...
Are you sure you don't need a joint as well?
Jake, we don't smoke up here, and I don't do drugs.
Not yet.
It'll be 2nd and 1 from the Pennsylvania 27. Claude Vincent under center. He's got a pro set in the backfield, double tights. Takes a snap, hands off to Taquan Rogers, who goes off right guard and breaks into the linebacker area, the defensive second. What do you call that?
You're kind of close there.
For a gain of 4 yards, brought down by Brad Allen. I'll get my terminology straight after a word from our sponsors, as that is the gun for the end of the first. The score from Beaver Stadium in University Park, Pennsylvania: Louisville Lightning 10, Pennsylvania nothing. You're listening to the Newfoundland Chalk Thursday Night Football on the Sportpuck Radio Network.
Holy mackerel, what's that smell? Oh, I know what it is. It's Kingman's Fish Market off of Western Drive in Anchorage. We get our fish fresh from the boats daily, so you don't have to worry about it sitting in shipping containers like they do in the lower 48. We have cod, mackerel, pollock, salmon, and heck, we even do it for the halibut. Also, we have crabs too. So come on down to Kingman's Fish Market off of Western Drive, and remember, if it smells fishy, it's Kingman's Fish Market.
Hey you gotta wake up. You look like you're so tired you could sleep through a nuclear bomb. It looks like your status quo has become a status uh-oh. So here, crack open a can of Strontium 90 Cola. Its atomic blend of raspberry, citrus, and guanana will collide with your insides to take you from a status uh-oh to a status go. So when you need a blast to help pick you up, grab a can of Strontium 90 Cola, bottled by Star City Sodas in the Star City of Roanoke, Virginia. Proud sponsors of the GSL Game of the Week.
A tutor who tooted a flute tried to tutor 2 tutors to toot. Said the toot to their tutor, is it harder to toot or to tutor 2 tutors to toot? If you're looking for pan flutes, pan flute sheet music, recorders, and other accessories, head on over to Pan Flutes of America, located at 534 Channing Way in Idaho Falls, or you can always call them at 537-TOOT. That's 537-TOOT. You know us by our bright fuchsia livery, our friendly conductors, and our unforgettable name. Manitoba Railways, proudly serving the provinces of Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and the states of North and South Dakota, is now expanding the reach of its family. Manitoba Railways is now proudly serving Minnesota, Nebraska, and Alberta. We're still the little railways that can, and now our reach is even farther. Manitoba Railways, yeah, we now go there.
This is the Thursday Night Football on the Sportpuck Radio Network, brought to you by Newfoundland Chalk. It's some shagging good, me buddy. We guarantees it. Newfoundland Chalk. Normally we would have the Thursday night game over on the GSL network, but tonight, because of 2 games running simultaneously, the exhibition game between the Salt Lake Trappers and the GSL Developmental Squad are taking place on the GSL network, while we are providing you coverage of Thursday Night Football. And tonight's matchup is between the Louisville Lightning and the Pennsylvania Keystones, and surprisingly, Louisville's up 10-0. And for an update on the game between the Developmentals and the Trappers, here's Bobber with the score. Hey guys, this is Bobber, and right now, looks like the Developmentals have taken a 10-3 lead over the Trappers. as Jovan Generic just caught a reception from Genericson to take the lead up to 10-3 in favor of the Developmentals. Well, that's the update on the scoreboard. Back up to you, fellas. Thanks so much, Bobber, for that update from the Salt Lake GSL game. And also, if you want to update on the dodgeball game, which normally takes place on Thursday night on the Sportpuck Radio Network, the San Jose Quakes are behind the Salt Lake Freeze. Salt Lake Freeze is up 4-3 over the Quakes.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised by that because the Quakes have just been knocking people out both literally and figuratively in the dodgeball league, and good heavens, Salt Lake really wants to get some airtime tonight, don't they?
Yep, they sure do, and you can catch that game over on the streaming partner for the Sportpuck Radio Network. Just bring up the stream, instead of choosing the game for tonight, just choose the dodgeball game, and you can hear it over your computer on the Google Box.
Oh, I love me the Google Box.
Now, Louisville jumped out to a 10-0 lead there, Jake. What do you see going on down on the field in favor of Louisville?
Well, Louisville's come out and said, we are not afraid of you guys. You're not in our heads, and we're going to just take it to you. And they've been exploiting a few little holes in that single high coverage from the Keystones. And man, have they taken advantage of every single opportunity that's been given to them.
Yeah, you got to give credit to Jamil Davis for leading them down the field, and also Casey Jones, ran that train high on cocaine.
What are you talking about, cocaine, Drew?
Nah, I'm just singing a song from the Grateful Dead.
Okay, they were a little too hippie for me.
It doesn't surprise me. And Corey Jones has been helping out the cause as well as Jamil Davis. And Jamil Davis's number one target on the day has been C.J. Brown. C.J. Brown's been playing pretty big, just not afraid to go across that middle of the defensive secondary of the Keystones. So we're coming out of the break, and Pennsylvania will have the ball from their own 31. They'll be going right to left on your radio dial since it's a change of quarter and they flip the field. And so, Claude Vincent with Taekwon to his right, and he's got a 2x2 out onto either side. He takes the waist-high snap, hands it off to Rogers, and Rogers goes off left guard for a gain of 2 yards. That'll bring up 2nd and 8 for the Keystones, and he was brought down by Jesse Johnson. That's one of those active linebackers from the Lightning, Jake.
Yeah, they really need to have those guys just roaming the field and keeping Taekwon in check if the Lightning want to have any chance to keep this lead and go back to Louisville with the win.
Claude Vincent getting everybody set on the line of scrimmage. One tight to his right, two to his left, and one in the backfield next to him in the shotgun. He takes the chest-high snap, fakes the handoff, rolls to his left, and there he has Alfredo Cameron, who goes on an out route for 10 yards, brought down by Brendan Rogers.
That was just a simple play right there. They let Claude Vincent, who doesn't always show his wheels, he's got a couple of good wheels on him. He just doesn't get to show it off very often because he gets to stay back in that pocket, protected by those bigs up front. And there you saw him use his wheels to get it out to Cameron for a first down, moving the chains for the Keystones.
And they are going to need to attack that secondary because that's been kind of a weak spot for the Louisville Lightning on the season. Vincent under center has Taekwon right behind him. Double tight set. Takes a snap, hands it off to Taekwon. Taekwon goes off right tackle, breaks into almost a linebacker core, and is brought down by Jesse Johnson and Terrence Brewer for a gain of 5. They'll bring up 2nd and 5 from the Pennsylvania 48.
Yeah, they're just trying to pound up front. They are not afraid of this Louisville defense, but Louisville really needs to say, hey, we're going to grind it out with you. And also, Louisville's defense needs to find a way to get off the field quick so they are not wound down by this front five of the Keystones.
Claude Vincent back in the shotgun with Taekwon to his right. 3-by-1, 3 to his left, 1 to his right in isolation. He takes the chest-high snap, fakes the handoff, rolls out to his right a little bit, and he goes deep, intended for his brother Chad Vincent, and the ball falls incomplete. That'll bring up 3rd and 5 for the Keystones. They're facing another 3rd and out here if they don't get a completion, Jake.
I know. We are not used to seeing this Pennsylvania Keystone squad having to face so many 3 and outs. They're usually pretty steady with their ball management, and give credit to Claude Vincent in the past, but tonight that Louisville defense really is making him rethink a lot of his passing routes.
Here comes Claude Vincent leading them back to the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 5 from their own 48, and they are trying to get things going on the Pennsylvania side. Vincent 2-by-1 with a single tight to his right and one back in the backfield with him. Takes a snap, fakes the handoff, bootlegs over to his left, and he is looking for Isaac Dixon, and it falls short. They're on that short little out route, and it brings up 4th and 5 for the Keystones. And Jake, how about this? Another 3 and out in this short amount of time in the game.
I know, Drew, Claude Vincent just doesn't seem to be in rhythm, and give credit for those front 4 of the Louisville defense for just making his life a little bit hectic. And one of those guys need to look out for the rest of the game is number 98, Latavius Mariani. He is a handful, and he can scoot as well.
All right, Andrew Nichols is back on the field to punt the ball away for the Keystones. He's set up 15 yards back, takes the waist-high snap and boots it. And it goes out of bounds after about, 30 yards?
Yeah, that was not a favorable spot for the Keystones.
And the Lightning will come out and start at their own 22. He didn't want to boot that too far, yet, that's only 78 yards to work with, as opposed to if that had stayed in, you're looking at possibly 90 yards being placed down the 10.
Yeah, he's not been so good on that, and there have been a lot of favorable spots for the Lightning coming off those punts.
Now Jamil Davis comes back onto the field. He's had a pretty good day using his feet. Actually, I'll take that back. He hasn't had to use his feet as often, and he looks to be comfortable in the pocket.
Give credit to those front 5 of the Lightning. We talk about the front 5 of the Keystones, making holes for Taekwon, and also giving some protection for Claude Vincent. Yet on this side of the ball, the front 5 has really made Jamil Davis look really smart today, making him feel comfortable back in the pocket.
Jamil Davis set in the shotgun with his fullback to his right. He's got a 2-by-2 right in front of him, 5 on the line. He takes a chest-high snap, fakes the handoff to Anthony, rolls out to his right, and it looks like there's a little bit of an out route by Anthony, and the ball falls incomplete. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 from the Louisville 22.
Yeah, there's just kind of you got to haul that in, Darius. If he's going to get you right at your fingertips, you got to do what you can to help bail out your quarterback, because there aren't going to be many opportunities like that left, especially if the Pennsylvania team is like they have been in the past. If they're behind, they are willing to scout out what's going on during the game and make those adjustments and just make you look silly for the rest of the game to try and get back the lead and win. I mean, they're undefeated for a reason, Drew.
That's right, Jake. Jamil Davis breaks the mini huddle right there. He has a 2-by-2 in front of him once again, no tights, and one running back in the backfield. He takes a chest-high snap, fakes the handoff, sets back in the pocket, and he goes on the short right out route, and the ball falls incomplete. Another time that his receiver could have bailed him out, C.J. Brown. And there's another time that C.J. Brown could have bailed him out, and they're looking at a 3rd and long. They're putting their quarterback in kind of a tight situation now. Instead of running for a 3rd and short, that could have been a short yardage situation there. They're now coming up with a 3rd and long, Jake.
And that's the thing. The Keystone defense has to be licking its chops. They need to really wreak havoc up front and see if they can push and cause Jamil Davis to possibly make a mistake.
In the shotgun once again with a 2-by-2 in front of him and a lone back in the backfield to his right. Takes a chest-high snap, fakes the handoff, steps back in the pocket, And he's going deep down the left-hand side, and he is picked off by Marquise Allen. Marquise Allen is dodging. He's at the 20. He's at the 15. He's at the 10, and he dives into the end zone for a touchdown. Keystones, and it looks like the one play that'll possibly shift the tide, shift the momentum, could be coming from this interception by Marquise Allen.
That single high, they hid that high one right there. They faked looking like a man-to-man, and then they dropped the cornerback back. They were playing with 3 cornerbacks. They dropped it back in a nickelback situation, and they hid that coverage and made Jamil Davis do something he was uncomfortable with, and there, that uncomfort turned into comfort for 6 for the Keystones.
And just as quickly as they were talking about the Louisville Lightning having a 10-0 lead, it's now 10-6 in favor of the Lightning. But, you know, with this Keystone defense, Keystone team, all they need is one quick little play like that to shift the momentum in their favor.
That's right, Drew. This is a very much a clicky team. And that's not in a bad way. They just all seem to click around one player, one moment in time. It sounds like the Final Four right there, Drew. They're willing to just feed off that and go and make your life a living nightmare throughout the rest of the game.
And coming out on the field for the Keystones is their left-footed kicker, Vernon Ross, who we're used to seeing him a lot earlier on in the game, and now in the second quarter, he has a chance to bring them within 3. The snap is good and down, and the left-footed kicker puts the ball true through the uprights, and Vernon Ross brings the Keystones to within 3, 10-7 in favor of the Lightning. And after that kick, we're going to pause for 120 seconds as we hear a word from our sponsors. You're listening to the Newfoundland Chalk Thursday Night Football on the Sportpuck Radio Network.
Boys, what are you at? So listen now, you're trying to get off to work, the wife is busting your arse, the youngsters are going crack, and your nerves are gone. And to top it all off, you forget your chalk. Thunder and dying, I knows you're not rotted. Shag that you're. Head on over to the chalk store, old man, and grab a brace before you goes. That's all you needs to do. It'll be best kind. No worry, my son, the chalk man got you looked after. Some shagging good, me buddy, I'll guarantee you. Newfoundland Chalk. We got the chalk for all your needs.
Are you looking for a pharmacist who knows his stuff? Are you looking for an apothecary who knows that you can find better living through great chemistry? Look no further than the Mid-State's award-winning pharmacy, Dawson's Pharmacy. They have the pills for what ails you. Matt, June, Tanisha, and the rest of the crew will find the right match for any problem you're facing. Not only is Dawson's Pharmacy an award-winning pharmacy, they're also an award-winning snack bar and soda fountain. So if you're looking for a great po' boy, cheesesteak, or just an old-fashioned hot dog, belly on up to the bar and order whatever you have a hankering for. And also, you might hear a story about a potential award-winning fish from Jose and Bobbert as they argue as to which one caught the biggest and it got away. And if you're looking for a great compliment to your snack, just talk to one of their soda jerks who will fix you up with that real sugar soft drink to help make the meal just right. It's the Mid-State's finest pharmacy, Dawson's Pharmacy, located on the second left on the right. They have the pills for what ails you. Are you thirsty? Are you looking for something that'll do more than just quench your thirst? If so, then choose New Clear Soda. It glows like a reactor, but its smell will refresh the olfactor. Its taste will radiate through you like U-235. It's Nuclear Citrus Soda. One taste will make you go. New Clear Soda. Produced by Star City Soft Drinks. Made proudly in Roanoke, Virginia since 1965. This is your Newfoundland Chalk Thursday Night Football on the Sportpuck Radio Network. I am Drew Abernathy with the call, and joining me as always is my buddy Jake Akbehavi.
Hey, everybody.
And it looks like we have a update on the score from Salt Lake City between the Trappers and the Developmentals. We're going to throw it over to Bobbert. Hey everybody, this is Bobbert, and we have an update on the score from Salt Lake City. Looks like the Trappers have put up a 3 spot on the Developmentals as they're now down 10-6 in favor of the GSL Developmental squad. Back to you guys. Well, Thanks so much, Bobbert, with that update, and we're going to get back to the action here at Beaver Stadium in University Park, Pennsylvania, as we've got a live one, folks. The Keystones have just answered the Lightning with a pick 6, and now it's 10-7 in favor of the Lightning. Punter Andrew Nichols, who handles all the kickoff duties for the Keystones, is on the field, the right-footed kicker. He makes sure both sides are set. He calls out an audible, puts his hand up, and he puts his right foot through the ball, and it goes through the back of the end zone for a touchback, and it looks like the Louisville Lightning will start from their 25.
Yeah, Drew, the Lightning really need to pick themselves up after that interception. Young Jamil Davis needs to just say, hey, that was just one pick 6. We still have a whole lot of more football to go, as we've got, just over 12 minutes to go here in the first half. Yeah, Jake, as Jamil Davis brings the squad back onto the field, they'll be going left to right here on your radio dial in the second quarter. Jamil Davis sets up under center with a 2x1 and a single tight to his right-hand side. He takes the snap, he drops back 7, and he looks to get his receiver out of the backfield on the bubble route. That's Corey Jones, and he goes up for about 7 yards and brought down by Quintavious Copeland. That'll bring up 2nd and 3 for the Lightning from their own, is that 32? Yep, 32, Drew, from their own 32. Yeah, you just got to do what is comfortable for Jamil right now. Use his running backs and his tight ends to get down the field, use their sure hands, and then set up for his wide receivers, who are pretty good wide receivers. Just he needs to get confidence in those short passes to eventually go long downfield and attack this Keystone secondary as they did in the first quarter. Jamil Davis sets up under center once again. Looks like they've seen something here in the first half. He takes a snap, hands it off to his running back, and he is just stopped at the line of scrimmage by linebacker Brent Hoover from the Keystones, and that brings up a 3rd and short situation for the Lightning. Just give credit for Brent Hoover. He went through that 7 gap and just hammered Corey Jones at the line of scrimmage, and they're lucky they didn't lose the ball there. He just hit him that hard. Jamil Davis coming out of the short little huddle, sets up in the shotgun with Corey Jones to his right. He's got a 2x2 in front of him, and they look like they're going to pass. He takes the chest-high snap, fakes the handoff, rolls to his right, and there he is looking for DeMarcus Wilson, and he is picked off by Ray Bradbury, and he's going back the other way. He's at the 30, he's at the 25, he's at the 20, he's at the 10, he's at the 5, and he is stopped short of the goal line. The Keystones have used that single high they've been hiding that single high, and they have really wreaked havoc with Jamil Davis here in the second frame. Give a lot of credit to that defensive coordinator there, just finding new ways to hide that single high coverage, as they put Ray Bradbury, who usually isn't a starter, but they put him in there in the nickelback situation once again, as they've been going with some nickel here, trying to confuse the Lightning. And they almost got another pick 6 within, just under a minute from each other. Holy cow, Drew. Yeah, and that brings up a 1st and goal from the Louisville 2. As Claude Vincent, he has to be feeling good about the momentum shift in his favor. Claude Vincent under center with Taquan Rogers in the deep set for the Keystones. Takes a snap, hands off to Rogers, and he just goes off left tackle, off that big left tackle for a touchdown. And another house call for the Keystones is now giving them the lead at 13-10 in favor of Pennsylvania. Yeah, when you got a big hog up front, that left tackle, Yancey Malcolm. Yancey looks like he hasn't missed a meal, I'll tell you what. And as soon as he gets that meal in, he goes straight to the gym and starts lifting weights, because that hoss can rumble. We don't call his name out much because he's great for coverage for the Keystones, but we got to give him some credit there for opening up that, actually pancaking his guy. So Taquan Rogers could just rumble into the end zone. Now, Brendan Ross comes out, the left-footed kicker for the Keystones. The snap is taken and placed down, and the left foot is through, and the ball
sails true through the uprights, and that brings a score. Pennsylvania 14. Just as quick as that, Jake, Pennsylvania has a 14-10 lead on the Lightning.
Yeah, I mean, if you really want to get momentum back, credit that defense for just hopping on that ball and giving them an opportunity to swing the momentum back their way. As we talked about earlier, they're a clicky team. They like to click together. If they find something they could click around, just like these 2 interceptions they've converted into points, you know, Louisville's going to have a handful for the rest of this game if they continue this momentum on into the second half, or if they even score once again here in the first. It's going to be hard to deal with this Pennsylvania Keystones squad that's ranked number 1. I know number 1 in the East. I think they're ranked number 1 in the Snellick power rankings, aren't they? If they're not number 1, they're tied up there with Arizona. We're going to stay right here after that touchdown, and that touchdown score is brought to you by Sugar Crinkles. Don't go into the dark alone. Find the purpose that you're looking for by sacrificing your hunger on the altar of a balanced breakfast. It's Sugar Crinkles. It's a taste to kill for. That clown creeps me out.
We probably shouldn't say that about our sponsors, Jake.
I don't care. He creeps me the heck out. Holy cow.
All right. Thanks for that little information right there, Jake, as Andrew Nichols brings the special teams out onto the field for the Keystones as they prepare to kick it back to Louisville. Nichols sets up. He calls out the play. He runs up to the ball, puts his right foot through, and the ball sails through the air and out of the end zone, and Louisville will be coming back onto the field for a 1st and 10 from their own 25. Jamil Davis, what do you say to a young quarterback who's thrown basically 2 pick sixes?
You just got to tell him to settle down. As an offensive coordinator, you just got to say, hey, I know you've thrown 2 picks. Let me see if I can keep things going for you. And we just need to see if we can just go back to what is basic. Use your running back to push the ball up the field. Allow your big hogs up front to push. And get your tight end into the game so we can see if we can just get things settled down. And let's just try to go back to a simple game plan and get some more points back on the scoreboard.
Jamil Davis sets up in the shotgun with a lone back in the backfield and a 2x2 in front of him once again. He takes the chest-high snap. He drops back 3, and he's looking over his left side as he has his running back down the field. It looks like it is completed and brought down by Billy Mullins, yet the challenge flag is out from Pennsylvania. They don't think that was a catch, Jake.
I don't know if it was because it looked like he may have trapped the ball on the ground because it was a great throw by Jamil. Give him all the credit in the world. Yet, for some reason, Corey Jones, it looks like he didn't bring the ball in, and yeah, he trapped it. But boy, he sold that he had gotten that reception, as he is just up in arms with the ref saying, hey, I caught the daggone ball. What are you talking about?
And this challenge is brought to you by Pan Flutes of America. If you're looking for great pan flute music at a great decent price, or just a new pan flute for your collection, call them up in Idaho Falls, or you can find them on the web at panflutesofamerica.idahofalls.com.
Pan flutes? Are you into pan flutes, Drew?
It's not too bad. Every once in a while I get in one of those moods where I just want to hear some of that, Heidi-flighty music, and I like listening to pan flutes every so often.
That's a new side of you I wasn't expecting, Drew.
Well, thank you, Jake, I guess. Yeah. And here comes the ref to see if the challenge is either stands on the field or is overturned. Yep, looks like the challenge stands and the play is overturned, and now that brings up 2nd and 10 from the Louisville 25.
And Jamil, it looks a little bit shaken by those interceptions, and he just has to get his feet underneath him.
Jamil Davis sets up in the shotgun with a single back to his right, 3x1. Now as they brought their big tight end over on the right-hand side in isolation. Takes the waist-high snap, fakes a handoff, and it looks like he's going over the middle, and the ball is incomplete as it sails high, and he looks to be throwing it off his back foot, Jake.
Yeah, I would be throwing it off my back foot too if things have just not been going so well for me. And Bentley O'Malley, he jumped as high as he could. That big tight end for them jumped as high as he could, trying to keep with the game plan. And now it brings up 3rd and long for the Lightning.
Jamil Davis brings the squad back up to the line of scrimmage. He's back in the shotgun. An empty backfield as we go with a 3-by-5. He takes the knee-high snap, low snap, and he rolls out to his right. And he's trying to find his running back underneath, and the ball just skips off the ground around the height of the shoelaces. And now we're bringing up a 4th and long for the Lightning.
Yeah, this has just not been a good drive. Luckily for the Lightning, it didn't wind up in being a turnover as the previous 2 have. Yeah, they just needed something they could build off of, and yeah, they've got to do something to get everything right for the offense of Louisville.
On to punt for Louisville is Colin Miller. He takes the chest-high snap, puts it down, and puts his right foot through it. And the ball goes out of bounds. What is going on here? Are the winds swirling that bad that it's pushing them out of bounds?
Yeah, if you look at the flags, I should have noticed this earlier. You know, that was a 40-yard punt that went out of bounds, and that's going to give Pennsylvania a shorter field than what they could have, because Colin Meyer averages about a 47, 48-yard punt. And there, yeah, it's 40 yards, but it's a little bit shorter than what they wanted. And now it looks like Pennsylvania's going to have a shorter field to work with than what they may have had, as it's going to be 1st and 10 from their own 35.
Claude Vincent trots out onto the field with the rest of the Keystone Cops. Should we call them that?
No, I wouldn't say that. No, I wouldn't say that.
So Claude Vincent comes out and is set back in the backfield in the shotgun. Taquan Rogers to his right. Takes a snap, hands it off to Taquan Rogers, who goes up the middle and is brought down. We talked about Latavius Mariani earlier. Latavius Mariani sheds his blocker and only allows Taquan Rogers, 3 yards?
Yeah, that Latavius Mariani is not only fast, but he is strong, and he was able to shed off one of those bigs and keep Taquan from squirting out for another, 10, 15 yards is what he's apt to do if he gets a little bit of daylight.
Claude Vincent brings his squad back to the line of scrimmage. He has a 2-by-1 with a single tight to his right-hand side and a back to his left as he barks out the play. He is really trying to I think he sees something, he's audibling it. He goes up to the line of scrimmage and is talking to all of his guys on the line. 10 minutes left to go in the first half. He takes a chest-high snap, fakes the handoff, steps back in the pocket, and he goes to his right-hand side, finds his brother Chad, who turns up field after shedding a block, and he gains about 13 yards and brought down by Jesse Johnson. That'll bring up 1st and 10 just across midfield at the Louisville 49.
What do we say about Chad Vincent? He's a big dude, and he can scoot as well. We talk about a lot of these guys who could run, but Chad Vincent is built kind of like a Novacek or a Jason Witten, built more like a hybrid tight end wide receiver, and he's not afraid to block you. But there, he just did a simple little out route, caught it after 3 yards, and just turned upfield as the strong safety tried to give him an arm tackle. He's like, no, sir, not sirree, Bob. And now you see what happens if you try to arm tackle some of these guys. You're now facing a 1st and 10 on your side of the field, or for Pennsylvania's their side of the field, and now it's a 1st and 10 from the Louisville 49.
Claude Vincent sets up in the shotgun with Taquan to his left, and he's got a 2-by-2 in front of him. Takes a snap, hands off to Taquan, who goes up the right side, and he's brought down by Nick Banyard after a short gain. It'll bring up 2nd and, let's see where they spot the ball. Ooh, that's a favorable spot for Louisville. 2nd and 8, as Taquan and Nick have been getting up, and they have some words for each other.
Yeah, I think Taquan's the one who said, y'all boys are from Pennsylvania, and I don't think Nick appreciated those words.
Yeah, Taquan they're having to separate him. The refs are having to separate him, and one of his bigs from up front, Terrence Weeks, grabbed Taquan to put him back in the backfield and said, hey, we got more game to play. I don't need you kicked out. Claude Vincent sets up in the shotgun, single back to his left-hand side. Takes a snap, fakes the handoff, and it looks like he's going to flare out into the flats as Vincent hits Rogers over the left side just beyond the hash marks, and he's brought down almost immediately by Gerald Kuwanjo, Gerald, and now it's going to bring up second and long for the Keystones.
Yeah, give a lot of credit to Kuwanjo, who really had to bring Taekwon down by the shoestrings, because as soon as he was getting those shoulders squared to go upfield, it looked like he was going to go for maybe another first down or even more.
Vincent bringing everybody back up to the line of scrimmage for 2nd and 8 for the Lightning from their own 45. Or 3rd and 6, from their own 45. He takes the low snap, fakes the handoff, and now he rolls out to his left. He doesn't like doing this a whole lot, and he flings the ball over to Isaac Dixon for a pretty good gain, and that'll be almost a first down. Is that just enough for a first down? Brought down by Jesse Johnson, but there's a flag on the play. We'll go down to the field for the call. Ooh, and that is not the nice kind of face mask. I mean, no face mask penalty is nice. This is in the 50s where Night Train will just yank you by your face mask, almost break your neck. That is the not so nice kind of face mask.
Yeah, that's a personal foul variety of penalty on Jared Hardy. He looked like he was taking some offense to Yancey Malcolm just manhandling him there, and so he decided to grab his face mask and give him a good yank to say, hey, don't you forget about me. And I don't think Malcolm's going to forget about him. This might be pretty bad for Jared Hardy on the day.
Yeah, and this is probably something that the Louisville Lightning defense didn't need.
Yeah, you've now given them a shorter field. Instead of it being back at the 30-something, now it's going to be 1st and 10 from the Louisville 24. You've now given them a shorter field to work with, and Claude Vincent must be loving this.
Claude Vincent sets up in the shotgun. He's got a 2x1 with a single tight to his right and Taekwon to his right. He takes the snap, fakes the handoff, steps back in the pocket, and he finds Vincent over the left side, and he's brought down by Delvarius Pettisclaw and also Alex Laxky. This time Pettisclaw needed a little bit of help, and now that'll bring up a 2nd and medium for the Keystones.
Yeah, there Chad was running a 7 route, just going across the field, and Claude Vincent caught him out of the side of his eye because he looked like he was going down the right side, sizing up Alfredo Cameron to see if he could go a little further downfield. And there he must have caught a glimmer of that helmet as his brother was going across the middle. And they're getting a little bit closer to the red zone.
That'll bring up, actually we are in the red zone.
Hey, they did give him a favorable spot this time.
That'll bring up 2nd and 6 for the Keystones from the Louisville 20. Vincent takes a snap, hands it off to Taekwon Rogers, who decides to go between the guards and gets it. Is that enough for a first down? No, he's stopped short after the scrum is brought down, and he is tackled by Martin Harris and Alex Lasky. That'll bring up 3rd and short for the Keystones. And we're a little bit further into the red zone there, Jake.
Yep, and this is where the Keystones want to be. They want to be all up in your grill, and they want to get as close as they can, because that means shorter field, a lot easier to get into the end zone.
Thanks, John Madden, for that observation.
Well, you're welcome, Drew.
3rd and 2 from the Louisville 16. Claude Vincent under center. Pro formation in the backfield. Takes a snap, hands off to Taekwon Rogers, goes up the right side, and he is brought down after a short gain. Looks like it's enough to move the sticks, and it'll be 1st and 10 from the Louisville 10.
Yep, 1st and goal situation here, Drew, as Melvin Roll kind of read that and split his own defenders who were being blocked and was able to bring Taekwon down for just a minimal gain. Unfortunately, it's now 1st and goal, which means short field, a lot less to go for the Keystones in order to get into the end zone.
Claude Vincent sets up in the shotgun. He's got a 2x2 up in front of him with a lone back in the backfield to his right. He takes a chest-high snap, steps back, and he looks to be going over the left-hand side, make that right-hand side, and he finds Isaac Dixon, who is immediately brought down by Martin Harris for no gain on the play. That'll bring up 3rd and goal from the Louisville 7.
Yeah, give Martin Harris a lot of credit for reading that play and kind of reading Vince's eyes. It looks like he focused in a little too much on Isaac Dixon, and Martin Harris is too smart for that. And he said, "No, sir, you are not getting much further than this."
Claude Vincent in the hurry-up sets up in the shotgun with Taekwon to his left. He's got a 3-by-1 in isolation over the right-hand side. New tight end in for the Keystones. It is Jonathan Sosa. Vincent takes a chest-high snap, fakes the handoff, and steps up in the pocket and throws over to the left-hand side and finds Jonathan Sosa on a 7 route. And that 7 route turns into 6 for a touchdown.
Yep, Drew, looks like the momentum's coming the way of the Keystones as they have now cracked off 20 straight points. Holy cow. As we talked about it, they like to click. They are a momentum team, and they click off of one player, even one player who's doing well. And this time, it's the defense they're clicking off of, as now the offense has gone on the field, and they had a longer field to work with. They had 65 yards as they started from their own 35. And now they just cracked off, 6 minutes on the clock, a long drive, and now you have Vernon Ross coming on to kick the point after.
Thanks, Jake, for that bit of information. And the left-footed kicker comes onto the field, Vernon Ross. The snap is down, the left foot is through, and the kick is true. And that brings a score, Pennsylvania 21, Louisville 10. Well, we'll break after that kick, and we'll hear a word from our sponsors. We'll continue our coverage of the Gridiron Simulation League after a word from our sponsors. This is the Sportpuck Radio Network.
Hey everybody, it's your buddy Jake Akbehavi back once again for Margot's High Class Palace now. My mom called me up and said, you need to go by your Christian name, and that's Jake Akbehavi. So I'm back once again, and you know what? I told Devontae about what's happening, and Devontae kind of chuckles, said, you know what? Let's have a Your Mama's Awesome sale. If you go into Margot's High Class Palace right now, you can tell them, your mom's awesome. Why is everybody chuckling? Seriously, if you tell them your mom's awesome, Devontae and crew will give an extra 15% off your upcoming rental of a tuxedo or a evening gown or just whatever for shindig season. And they'll make sure that you're taken care of. And also, don't worry, you can also get your scrub mongering needs taken care of over at Margot's High Class Palace. So it's the Your Mom's Awesome sale over at Margot's High Class Palace. And tell them your buddy Jake Akbehavi sent you. Why are you all chuckling at me?
Local 58, WCLV. We were the first television station in Mason County, and we are still here to bring you great local weather, sports, news, and paid programming. We're the ones that you have come to trust and should trust when it comes to all things Mason County. We were the first ones here for you, and we've been here for you through thick and thin. We're WCLV, Local 58. We've always been there. Are you feeling lonely during the lockdown? Do you feel like you're immune to catching the love bug? If quarantine has got you down, then look to OK COVID to help you corona on. OK COVID has a 19-point personality test that will positively partner you up with that person of your dreams. OK COVID just won't find antibody for you to be with. They'll help you find someone with whom you can develop the symptoms of a lifelong love together. It's the pandemic's #1 dating site, OK COVID. It's infectious. Welcome back to your Newfoundland Chalk Thursday night football game from Beaver Stadium in University Park, Pennsylvania, as the Louisville Lightning have gone up by 11 as they lead. Excuse me, not the Louisville Lightning, the Pennsylvania Keystones. I was so used to them leading by 10 earlier. The Pennsylvania Keystones are now up by 11, 21-10 over the Louisville Lightning. And we have an update on the score from Salt Lake City. Yeah, thanks so much, guys. And it looks like another 3 spot has been put up on the board for Salt Lake as they're now down by 1, 10-9 to the GSL Developmentals. Back to you, boys. Well, thanks so much. And that seemed to be kind of a chess match there in the first half.
It usually is between the developmentals and the trappers in these exhibition games. They both want to be on the field. They both want to show the GSL faithful that they can hang. And a lot of those players on the GSL developmental are just looking for a good spot on a team, either later on in the year or next year in the GSL. And also give that Genericson a lot of credit for taking a pounding from that front five of the Salt Lake Trappers. Holy cow, those are some big dudes up front, and they are really talented and athletic.
That is so right, Jake. Here comes Andrew Nichols, the punter, on to do the kickoff duty for the Pennsylvania Keystones. He sets everybody up, raises his right hand. Now he runs towards the ball and puts the toe to pigskin, and the ball sails through the air and out of the backfield once again for a touchback. And Louisville will start with 4:35 to go in the first half from their own 25.
Yeah, he's been pretty consistent with those kickoffs, Drew. And
Jamil Davis trots the troops back onto the field as Louisville will be starting from their own 25-yard line. One single back in the backfield as he stands in the traditional pistol formation, 3 yards behind the center. He's got 3 to his left and a single tight to his right. Takes the knee-high snap, hands it off to Corey Jones, who goes off left tackle, and he breaks a few tackles and gets past almost into the defensive third of the field, or the defensive third of the field, and is brought down by that big defensive tackle, Alan Wong, for the Keystones. And it's going to be second and 3 for Louisville from their own 32.
Yeah, Alan Wong. We talked about him earlier, shedding blocks and getting tackles. That time, he shed what almost looked to be holding as he was getting blocked by Chris Dupree. He was able to shed him off and use his wheels to catch a pretty shifty running back in the form of Corey Jones, and luckily that didn't go for a first down.
Jamil Davis sets back up in the shotgun, 3x2 in front of him, lone man in the backfield. Takes a chest-high snap, drops back 3 steps, and he tries to go across the middle, and the ball just sails high. Luckily, that was not picked off, and C.J. Brown jumped as high as he could. Just like earlier, he jumped as high as he could to catch that, and there weren't enough rungs on the ladder, and now we're facing a 3rd and short for the Lightning.
Yeah, you give a lot of credit to the front 4 of the Keystones, especially Ikapuna Imawana. He really got up in Jamil Davis's grill, and he was lucky just to get that ball off. And he did like a jump shot over the middle of the field. And as you said, Drew, he was lucky not to be picked off by Terrence Brewer, who was sitting there in that single high nickel. And now we're at 3rd and 3.
All right. Jamil Davis sets up in the shotgun with a single back to his left-hand side, 2 to his left, and 1 single tight end to his right. He takes a snap, steps back, and oh man, he's getting some heat on his backside, and he's trying to use his wheels to get away from the linebacker, and it looks like he's brought down by Brent Hoover for a significant loss. That'll bring up 4th and almost a country mile for the Lightning.
Yeah, that's got to shake his confidence right there. That is not a good thing for Jamil to happen. The bigs up front letting Brent Hoover just come around the left-hand side, or the right-hand side, his left-hand side, and he just went almost unabated into the backfield. And now we're bringing up 4th and 14, and Colin Miller is coming out to punt for the Lightning.
Colin Miller sets back in the backfield, about 15 yards back. Takes that chest-high snap, and he puts his right boot into it. This time it's not sailing as bad as the other punts, and it is caught by Marshall Devereaux. He's trying to find a hole in the convoy, and he is brought down by Trey Bartleby just over the left hash marks, and it's going to be 1st and 10 for Pennsylvania from their own 38-yard line.
Man, Trey Bartleby just shot through that convoy, those blockers, and was able to just target Devereaux and bring him down. And
Claude Vincent sets everybody up at the line of scrimmage. He notices something. He's calling out an audible. He's up at the line of scrimmage talking to all his big uns up front. He now moves everybody into tight twins to either side, just like the Pittsburgh Steelers, their Pennsylvania counterparts. One lone back in the backfield. He takes the chest-high snap, fakes the handoff. He steps back in the pocket, and he goes over to the right side and finds Isaac Dixon, who's trying to break upfield, and he's brought down by Jarrell Kawanjo, and that'll bring up second and short for the Keystones.
Yeah, Claude Vincent's starting to find that rhythm. I know the first two scores have been on either pick six or short field, but that last drive really gave him a lot of confidence as the momentum is definitely in the favor of the Keystones.
2:08, just beyond the 2-minute warning. And Vincent sets up in the shotgun with Taekwon to his left. Two receivers to his left-hand side, one tight on the right-hand side. He takes the snap, hands it off to Rogers, and Rogers is going between the tackles. He's going up the middle, and he is brought down, or a little ways beyond the line of scrimmage, 11 yards in fact, by Delvarius Pettisclaw. They had 6 defensive backs in there, and now it's going to be 1st and 10, now into Louisville territory.
Yeah, they are really trying to prevent, they're in a prevent defense right now. They're trying to stop the bleeding and not allow any more points on the board before they go into half.
Claude Vincent Hurley gets everybody up to the line of scrimmage because apparently he sees something as he goes double tights, pro formation in the backfield, and he's under center. He takes the snap, hands off to Taekwon Rogers, who's immediately met there at the line of scrimmage by another one of the bigs from the Louisville Lightning. Looks like it's Saleva'a Nuuali'itia, and also he's helped out by Jared Hardy as he clogged up that hole, and Taekwon was lucky just to get a couple yards out of that.
Yeah, Saleva'a was a standout there at North Dakota State when he was in college. And, yeah, he clogs up the running lanes as he did right there. And when you say Nu'u, he is saying Ali'itia, and he is bringing you down.
And Louisville will take a timeout, and we'll take a timeout as well. This will be one of our timeout stations, just to let you know. And you're listening to the Newfoundland Chalk Thursday Night Football on the Sportpuck Radio Network.
Jackson Tate back in the Sportpuck Radio Network studios getting set for the Capital II halftime show. Coming up, we'll have a recap of all the first half action. We'll check in on that GSL Developmental Exhibition game with the Salt Lake Trappers going on out in Utah. And we'll have a preview of all this week's GSL action for Easter Sunday weekend, including our GSL Game of the Week. We'll talk with Dick Schaefer as we preview the Las Vegas Outlaws and the Albuquerque Atoms. It's all coming up next on the Capital II halftime show. Now let's send it back to Beaver Stadium and Drew Abernathy for the rest of the second quarter. You're listening to the GSL Thursday Night Football Game of the Week on the Sportpuck Network.
Boys, what are you at? Now listen what I'm telling you. What do all the famous plays from the NFL history, the 65 toss power trap, the ghost to the post, the Hail Mary, and all that, what do they have in common? They started with an idea on a chalkboard with a piece of chalk, Newfoundland chalk. So all you GSL owners, make sure your 8 is not a 9. Make sure your X is not an O. Trust Newfoundland chalk for all your imaginary plays. We got pink, yellow, green, red, blue, you name it. Well, we're out of white right now because of the COVID situation, but we'll get it back in stock soon. So come on down to Newfoundland chalk, get your plays right. Come on down, we got the chalk for all your needs. Newfoundland chalk, we got the chalk for all your needs.
This is the Newfoundland Chalk Thursday Night Football game on the Sportpuck Radio Network. I am Drew Abernathy, joined by my buddy Jake Akbehavi, and right now we have just under 2 minutes to go in the first half as the Louisville Lightning are trying to regroup and find some way to keep Claude Vincent and the Keystone offense out of the end zone. They're on the Louisville side of the field, and for this offense, that's a short field.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Heck, we'll just say from their own, 45 on, that is a short field for this Keystone offense. And Claude Vincent really has stepped up in this leadership role as he is playing field marshal and is not just managing, he is leading this team to right now a 21-10 advantage in favor of Pennsylvania.
Claude Vincent coming out of the timeout. Sorry, my Eastern North Carolina was coming there. He's back in the shotgun. One back to his left, 2x2 to either side. He takes a chest high snap, fakes the handoff, and he looks over to his right-hand side, and he's going deep. And there is caught by Isaac Dixon, moving the chains down the field for a gain of about 25. And that touchdown was saved by nickelback Terrence Brewer. And now it's going to be 1st and 10 in the red zone for the Keystones.
Vincent must have seen some sort of shift in that defensive backfield as they were trying to go from man-to-man, trying to hide something. They were switching from a man-to-man to a nickel package and looked like they were confused, and he got a quick snap and got it off really fast and was able to find his wide receiver Isaac Dixon over the right-hand side, and now it's 1st and 10 from the Louisville 16.
Claude Vincent quickly gets everybody up to the line of scrimmage. We have just over a minute and a half to go in the first half. He takes the handoff, hands it off to Taquan. Taquan goes up the left side and is brought down almost immediately at the line of scrimmage by that linebacker we've been calling Jesse Johnson, and a little bit of help from Melvin Roll. And now it looks to be 2nd and 9 for the Keystones from the Louisville 15.
Jesse Johnson's motor never quits.
Vincent in the hurry up, back in the shotgun, set up a 3x2, and he takes a waist-high snap, drops back, and he goes over to the left-hand side and finds another one of his tight ends, Marcus Cannon, for a short gain that'll bring up 3rd and about 6, as Cannon was immediately dropped by Melvin Roll. And now it looks like Louisville wants another timeout to see if they can talk things over and come up with a game plan to keep Louisville out of the end zone before time runs out here in the first half.
Louisville's doing everything they can right now. They're trying to regroup, do whatever they can, see what they see on tape, and bring it down to the field because they want to stop this bleeding. They do not want Pennsylvania to get back into the end zone because they already have a head full of steam. This will give them even more momentum going into the second half. And, you know, Pennsylvania's coast mode isn't like most other teams' coast modes. When they coast, they protect the lead. They don't go into this prevent defense that some teams do. Kind of like, who was it? Seattle last week, giving up 35 unanswered points after they went up 28-0 in the first half. They went into coma mode. Coma mode, sorry. Perry Como I was listening to him before I came in. But they went into coma mode, allowing San Antonio's high-powered offense to crack off 35 unanswered. Man, that was a crazy come-from-behind win.
Coming out of the timeout, Claude Vincent sets up in the shotgun with Taquan Rogers to his left. We have a 2x2 up in front of him as he takes the waist-high snap, steps back in the pocket. Looks like he's going to his left side, and he finds his brother in the end zone for a 12-yard touchdown. And just like that, as you were talking about, Louisville is trying to keep them out of the end zone. Pennsylvania said, you know what, we got something else for you, as we're going to put another 6 up on the board.
That's just what Pennsylvania wants. This is a rivalry game. They want to let Louisville know that they don't appreciate being called there, being from Pennsylvania. And now they are really extending their lead as they have now put up 27 unanswered points on this Louisville squad, as Vernon Ross is coming back on to extend it a little bit further.
Yeah, Vernon Ross, a left-footed kicker, sets up in his stance over to the right side. The snap is taken, it's put down. The kick is up and is good, and that extends the lead to 28-10 in favor of the Keystones. Don't go anywhere, folks, because coming up at the half, it'll be Whitney Jackson with the GSL Thursday Night Football halftime show brought to you by Capital 2. He'll have the highlights and stats from tonight's game between the Louisville Lightning and the Pennsylvania Keystones, and he'll also give you any updates on the game from Salt Lake City between the Trappers and the Developmentals. Hey, Bobber, is there an update on the score between the GSLers and Salt Lake Trappers? No, it's still 10-9 as they're at halftime right now in Salt Lake City. Well, thank you for that update, Bobber, as Andrew Nichols is coming onto the field to kick off for the Keystones. He raises his right hand, calls out to his guys on the left and to the right, He runs up, puts his right foot through the ball, and the ball sails through the air once again and out of the back of the end zone. And it'll be a touchback, and Jamil Davis will have 75 yards to go with just over a minute to see if they can get a touchdown. So what do you do if you're Pennsylvania in this situation?
Don't let him score.
Well, yep, that's pretty simple, isn't it? Jamil Davis comes off the sideline onto the field. He sets up in the shotgun. 2x2 in front of him with a lone back in the backfield. Corey Jones right beside him. He takes the chest-high snap, fakes the handoff, rolls out to his left, and he's looking for Wilson downfield, and the ball goes out of bounds as they were trying to get a catch and go out of bounds to stop the clock. Well, the clock will stop after that incompletion. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 from their own 25. Jamil Davis in the hurry-up gets back in the shotgun. He's got a 3x2 in front of him as one tight end on the field. He takes the snap, sets up in the pocket, and he throws over the middle, and he gets that big tight end, Justin Turner, for a gain, almost a first down. They'll bring it up 3rd and short for the Lightning.
Yeah, they're in this hurry up, and man, Jamil is really wanting to get points on the board, kind of make up for some of the lost ground he had there in the first half.
Jamil Davis back in the shotgun. He calls out the audible. Takes a chest-high snap, steps up in the pocket. He's got a lot of heat coming from his left-hand side, and he throws the ball, and there was nobody out in the flats, and it looks like the refs noticed what happened. He didn't get out of the tackle box, and it's going to be intentional grounding on Jamil Davis.
Yeah, that's going to back him up a fair piece.
As we go down to the field for the call. Oh, it looks like there was offsetting penalties. We know that he got hit, but man, looks like there's some extracurriculars there from Herbert Mendoza, one of the Mendoza brothers, and offsetting penalties, and they're going to repeat the first down.
Man, they got bailed out with that unnecessary roughness.
Jamil Davis gets everybody settled up at the line of scrimmage as he steps back in the shotgun. He calls out the play. He has one back in the backfield. 30 seconds to go in the half. Takes the chest-high snap. Steps back, and he's going left. He's going deep left as C.J. Brown has beaten his defender and knocked away. Billy Mullins, give him a lot of credit for closing in and knocking that ball out of bounds. And it'll bring up 2nd and long with just over 20 seconds to go in the game, or in the first half. Sorry about that, folks.
They were lucky, man. Pennsylvania was really lucky that Mullins has some great closing speed, as C.J. Brown had run right past him, and it looks like he had to slow up just a tick to try and catch that ball, and Billy Mullins closed the distance and was able to knock the ball out of his hands. And now it's going to be 2nd down instead of a touchdown for the Lightning.
It'll be 2nd and 10 from the Louisville 39. Jamil Davis sets up in the shotgun. He takes a chest-high snap. He steps back, and he is going to be met in the backfield by Marcus Ikapuna Imoana, and he'll take the sack, and it looks like that'll be the last play of the first half. And we're going to go into the half with the score, Pennsylvania 28, Louisville 10. Stay tuned, because coming up at halftime will be your Thursday Night Football halftime report, brought to you by Capital 2, brought to you by Whitney Jackson. He'll have all the stats and highlights from tonight's game and also from the other Thursday night game taking place in Salt Lake City, the 3rd game in a rubber match between, rubber match between the GSL Developmentals and the Salt Lake City Trappers, as the Developmentals are trying to go 3 in a row over Salt Lake City as they have a 10-9 lead at the half. Your score from your Newfoundland Chalk Thursday night football game on the Sportpuck Radio Network from the GSL, Pennsylvania 28, Louisville 10. Stay tuned, because coming up after the halftime show, we'll have your call right back here from Beaver Stadium on the Sportpuck Radio Network.
everybody, this is Jackson Tate in the Sportpuck Radio Network studios, and welcome to the GSL Thursday Night Football Capital II Halftime Show. Capital II, who's knocking on your door? The score at halftime is the Pennsylvania Keystones 28, the Louisville Lightning 10. The Lightning jumped out to a 3-0 lead on a field goal, and then a 1-yard touchdown run from Corey Jones made it 10-0.
They would have felt robbed if they had been facing a 4th down, and luckily it's 1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Jamil Davis makes sure everybody is down in front of him. 7 on the line. Pro formation in the backfield. Goes under center. Takes a snap. Hands off to Corey Jones, who goes straight up the middle and into the end zone for a touchdown. Louisville.
But after that, the momentum turned quickly, as early in the second quarter, Louisville quarterback Jamil Davis was picked off by Marquise Allen.
Really wreak havoc up front and see if they can push and cause Jamil Davis to possibly make a mistake.
In the shotgun once again with 2x2 in front of him and a lone back in the backfield to his right. Takes a chest high snap, fakes the handoff, steps back in the pocket, and he's going deep down the left-hand side, and he is picked off by Marquise Allen. Marquise Allen is dodging. He's at the 20. He's at the 15. He's at the 10, and he dives into the end zone for a touchdown. Keystones, and it looks like the one play that'll possibly shift the tide, shift the momentum, could be coming from this interception by Marquise Allen.
That single high, they hid that high one right there. They faked looking like a man-to-man, and then they dropped the cornerback back. They were playing with 3 cornerbacks. They dropped him back in a nickelback situation, and they hid that coverage and made Jamil Davis do something he was uncomfortable with, and there, that uncomfort turned into comfort for 6 for the Keystones.
Allen's 32-yard return for a touchdown made the score 10-7, and the momentum had swung. From there, the second quarter was all Keystones. Rushing touchdown by Taquan Rogers and a 7-yard touchdown pass from Claude Vincent to tight end Jonathan Sosa made the score 21-10, and the Keystones had the ball again before the half with an opportunity to tack on 7 more.
Coming out of the timeout, Claude Vincent sets up in the shotgun with Taquan Rogers to his left. We have a 2x2 up in front of him as he takes the waist-high snap, steps back in the pocket. Looks like he's going to his left side, and he finds his brother in the end zone for a 12-yard touchdown. And just like that, as you were talking about, Louisville is trying to keep them out of the end zone. Pennsylvania said, you know what, we got something else for you, as we're going to put another 6 up on the board.
That was Claude Vincent with his second touchdown pass of the game, 7 yards to his brother Chad, and it made the score 28-10. Keystones, and that's where we are at half. So the Keystones look like they're on the way to an 8-0 start atop the GSL's Eastern Conference. When we come back, we'll have an update from Utah and preview this weekend's action across the GSL. You're listening to the Thursday Night Football Capital II Halftime Show on the Sportpuck Radio Network.
Who's knocking at your door? Why, it's a courier with your new Capital II Double Rewards Double Indemnity Card. Introducing the Capital II Double Rewards Double Indemnity Card. While some credit card companies ask, what's in your wallet, we ask, who's knocking at your door? With the Capital II Double Rewards Double Indemnity Card, you earn $2 cash back for every dollar you spend on purchases. That's right, you heard me correctly. Double rewards equals $2 cash back for every dollar you spend. Spend $12 at Starbucks, we'll send you a check for $24. Spend $40 on dinner at a restaurant and we'll send you $80. Now there is a $99 monthly fee, but don't worry about that. Just use your Capital II Double Rewards Double Indemnity Card to fill up your tank with gas at least once a month, and the card pays for itself. In fact, you might say using the Capital II Double Rewards Double Indemnity Card is just like printing money. Want your credit limit raised? No problem. Want to use your card to pay your bill? We even allow that. Go ahead, try that with any other major credit card. Now you might be wondering how we are able to afford to give you $2 back for every dollar you spend. Well, it's simple. Your $99 monthly fee goes to pay the premium on a $5 million life insurance policy payable to us upon your death. In the event that you die in an accident, the double indemnity clause kicks in and we get $10 million. But don't you worry about that, because that only kicks in when you die, and then you won't have to worry about it. Just last month, we paid out $28,652,112 in double cashback rewards. Tragically, 3 of our best cardholders died in freak accidents last month. We have actuaries on staff who keep tabs of all the numbers, and it just so happens that we always seem to make a small profit every month. So who's knocking at your door? Go ahead and get the Capital 2 Double Rewards Double Indemnity card and find out. You can start earning your Double Rewards cash back today. Go ahead and get that extra latte. On second thought, maybe you better not. We know who our least profitable cardholders are and where they live and their spending habits. The Capital 2 Double Rewards Double Indemnity card. Who's knocking at your door? By the way, we're owned by the mob.
We're back on the Thursday Night Football Capital 2 halftime show where Pennsylvania leads Louisville 28-10. This isn't the only game going on tonight. There is an exhibition game going on between the Salt Lake Trappers and the GSL Developmental Squad. That game's at the half as well. The GSL Developmentals have a 10-9 lead. It was a 29-yard field goal from John Doe Smith that put the Developmentals up 3-0, and his counterpart, Trappers kicker Atu Salmi, connected on a 42-yarder to tie it at 3. A 21-yard touchdown pass from Generic Genericson to Juan Generico made it 10-3. We actually have a piece of audio of that touchdown. This has not been vetted. This is from Pirate Radio. This is Paisley Pete on the call from Salt Lake City.
Generic will be coming out of the wheelhouse while Genericson be loading up the long arm. He steps back, fires down the current, and finds Generico and blows the house down for a piece of 6. Yo-ho-ho! The Developmentals be up on the board, 10-6 over yon Trappers, y'all.
Okay, well, that happened. That was Paisley Pete on KYAR. That's KYAR, Pirate Radio. All right, well, then after that, it was 2 more Salmi field goals of 33 and 19 yards respectively, which made the score 10-9 at the half, which is where they are right now. Trappers quarterback Davis Fourfeathers is 6 for 8 with 56 yards passing, and Siane Tui Kolovatu leads Salt Lake with 45 yards rushing. For the Developmentals, Von Genericson leads all rushers with 81 yards, and Generic Genericson was 9 for 12 for 106 yards as they're at the half. Again, the score there is 10-9, Developmentals up on the Trappers. When we come back, we're going to take a look at all this week's action as it's Easter weekend here in the GSL. We're going to have Dick Schaefer come along with a preview of that Las Vegas-Albuquerque game. Keep it right here. You're listening to the Capital 2 Thursday Night Football halftime show on the Sportpuck Radio Network.
Hey everybody, it's your buddy Jake Akbehavi back once again for your favorite place and my favorite place too, Margot's High Class Palace. And it's that time of year for shindig season. That's right, we got proms, cotillions, and my favorite things coming up, weddings. I love to cut a rug at a wedding and acting like I'm an old jitterbug with my cummerbund sticking out and me spinning all about. Heck yeah, baby. And so head on over to Margot's High Class Palace and they'll get you ready for shindig season by getting you a tuxedo, a formal gown, evening gown, and my favorite, them cummerbunds. And don't worry, you can still go and get a mask from their scrub mongery to help prevent you getting the corona COVID. So head on over to Margot's High Class Palace. It's shindig season, and you know what? You might catch me out there cutting a rug with you. It's the shindig season sale going on right now over at Margot's High Class Palace, and you know what? Your buddy Jake Akbehavi still gives them 3 thumbs up. It's Margot's High Class Palace.
Margot's High Class Palace is the official sponsor of the GSL Louisiana Royals. Okay, guys, we're back on the GSL Capital 2 Thursday Night Football halftime show, where it is the Pennsylvania Keystones with a 28-10 lead on the Louisville Lightning. The Keystones looking to go 8-0. It's Easter weekend coming up, and you know what that means. We've got 3 games on Sunday, but the majority of Saturdays, the majority of the GSL games this weekend will be played on Saturday. And for a quick rundown of the games, we are going to give that to you right now. We got Louisiana headed up to Toronto. Toronto 5-1, looking to keep pace with Pennsylvania. We've got the Atlanta Flying Fleet are on the road in Cincinnati. It's been a long season for Atlanta. San Antonio heads to Oakland. Oakland's 5-1 and San Antonio 4-2, so that's that is a pivotal Western Conference matchup. We got St. Louis headed down to San Diego, and then there's a special Saturday night game. The Dallas Diesel will be in Los Angeles at the Coliseum taking on the Los Angeles Express. And the other game on Saturday is our GSL Sportpuck Network Game of the Week, and that's at 4:30 p.m. Eastern, where the Las Vegas Outlaws at 1-5 are going to take on the Albuquerque Atoms at 2-4. And right now we're going to bring in our Dick Schaefer, who is on the scene in Albuquerque, or I guess he's in the hotel room, but he's in Albuquerque, and he's getting ready for the game. I'm sorry, it's only Thursday night, so I guess he's still back home. But wherever, I got him phoning in. It's Dick Schaefer with a preview of this week's Sportpuck Network GSL Game of the Week.
Yes, hi everybody, this is Dick Schaefer for the GSL Game of the Week. We've got the Albuquerque Atoms taking on the Las Vegas Outlaws here at Dreamstyle Stadium in Albuquerque. Albuquerque's the 8-point favorite. The Outlaws need to get a win. They've had a high, potent offense this year, but they just haven't gotten any wins, hardly to speak of. As for Albuquerque had a nice Week 2 win against Memphis, and since then it's been kind of a disappointing season. Another close squeaker they pulled out against Miami, and they went on the road on Thursday night, lost to Arizona. There's no shame in that, of course, last week. And so they've got a long week to prepare for the Las Vegas Outlaws. The Outlaws, of course, at 1-6, it's been a disappointing season for the Outlaws. They did get their one win was over Baltimore on a Thursday night a few weeks back, but since then they've dropped successive games to Colorado, and they're playing Albuquerque now. So they got that win. They started out 0-4, beat Baltimore, and lost to Colorado. And it's been a long season for the Outlaws, scoring a lot of points. They put up 34 and 40 and 35 and 31 and 23 and 24 in their games, so they can score some points. But this Albuquerque squad is an 8-point favorite at home, and it's going to be an exciting game. Jackson, you'll be here with the play-by-play as we'll be calling the action Saturday, as we wish everybody a happy holiday weekend on, of course, tomorrow Good Friday, and then Easter Sunday coming up on Sunday, and so we be bringing you that GSL Game of the Week Saturday. It's Las Vegas and Albuquerque. So that's it from here at, I will be at Dream Style Stadium, but we're just going to pretend I'm there now. I'm on the phone with you, Jackson, as you're going to take it back to the second half of the game soon. I guess I'll sign out here. That's Dick Schaefer with a preview of your GSL Game of the Week coming up on Saturday.
All right, thanks, Dick. All right, a little wordy for Dick, but that's fine. I'll be with you as we are going to bring you the play-by-play on the Sportpuck Network. That's at 4:30 p.m. on Saturday. Wrapping up the Easter weekend coverage, we got a triple header on Sunday. On Easter Sunday, the Baltimore Bluebirds are headed down to Miami to take on the Miami Soul. That's the 1 o'clock kickoff. There's a game at 4:30 as Memphis is playing Seattle. And then Sunday night, it's Washington and Norfolk. And then Monday night, the Jacksonville Captains will be taking on the Wisconsin Stags. Be sure to check that one. Also out on the Sportpuck Network, that's Monday night, Jacksonville taking on Wisconsin from America Family Field in Milwaukee. All right, our score right here, it's 28-10. Coming up, the second half kickoff, we're going to send it back to Drew Abernathy and Jake Two Thumbs Akbehavi with the second half action. This is Jackson Tate signing off on the Capital 2 halftime show. You're listening to the GSL Thursday Night Football game on the Sportpuck Network.
Thursday night football game from Beaver Stadium in University Park, Pennsylvania, where the home Pennsylvania Keystones are up by 18 over the visiting Louisville Lightning, 28-18. And Jake, they're coming out of the tunnels. The Louisville coaches were a little bit animated.
Yeah, they were trying to get their guys just built up, trying to get them fired up, getting in their faces, slapping face masks, slapping the sides of their helmets, trying to do what they could to get Louisville amped up for this second half.
Yeah, they're going to need to find something in order to counterbalance this high-powered Pennsylvania offense, as Claude Vincent has led them to, 3 touchdowns after that first pick six there in the beginning of the second quarter. Kyle Pierre-Louis comes on to kick off for Louisville as the Mighty Might, the 5'4", 125-pounder, who got up in the face of some of the defensive linemen, has been a little bit quiet here in the second quarter going into the second half. And now he sets up his guys on either side, raises his right arm, runs up, puts the foot into the ball, and the ball flies through the air, and it is caught, and it's going to be a touchback for Pennsylvania as they're going to start their first drive of the second half from their own 25. Now, what do you do to keep up the momentum for Pennsylvania?
Well, Pennsylvania really hasn't had a problem with that. You just go out there, keep going, don't try and lose that energy you had there in the first half, and just try and bring this win home. Claude Vincent marches everybody onto the field for the Keystones as they start from their own 25. He sets up under center with a lone back in the backfield, 2 to his left and a tight to his right. Takes a snap, hands off to Rogers, goes up the middle, and he gains 3, maybe 4 yards on the play, and he's tackled by Jared Hardy for Louisville. It'll be 2nd and 6 for the Keystones from their own 29. Yeah, give Hardy some credit for getting that big hand out there, and he was able to grab him and then pull him into him and get a full tackle, because Taquan is one of those guys you do not want to arm tackle.
2nd and 6 from the Pennsylvania 29. Claude Vincent in the shotgun with Taekwon to his left, 2 to his left, a single tight to his right. He takes the snap, steps back, and he goes to the right side. He's going deep, and he finds his brother for a big gain as he is brought down by Aaron Allen. That's a gain of 31, and we're moving the chains into Louisville territory. 1st and 10 from the Louisville 40.
Yeah, there's that combination again. It's only brotherly love that can help those two out because, man, Vincent got the step on the linebacker as he saw one of those linebackers in single coverage of him, and he's like, I know I can beat him downfield, and Aaron Allen was doing all he could to keep up with Big Chad, and now it's going to be 1st and 10 from the Louisville 40.
Rogers back in the shotgun. He has 2 to either side and 1 lone back to his right. Taekwon Rogers. He takes a snap, hands off to Rogers. Rogers goes up the middle and is immediately hit by Latavius Mariani, and with a little bit of help from the safety, Martin Harris. That'll bring up 2nd and long for the Keystones.
They are trying to establish some dominance up front for the Keystones as they want to push around and keep this Louisville Lightning defense on their heels as they were out on the field for quite a bit in that first half. You know, they cracked off with a 6, 7, 8 minute drive there in the first half. They have to still be sucking on some air because, you know, they're here in the second half and they're trying to establish that dominance up front so they can get back on the board once again.
Claude Vincent takes a snap, steps back, looks to his left side, and the pass falls incomplete. That'll bring up 3rd and long for the Keystones. Claude Vincent wants to hurry things up. He wants to get into that end zone once again, Jake.
Yeah, I don't blame him. If you're going to, these are your rivals, and you do not want to let up on your rivals at all.
13 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Claude Vincent set up in the shotgun with a single back to his left-hand side. He takes the snap, steps back in the pocket, steps up in the pocket now and throws over the left-hand side and finds a guy we haven't called out yet, Ryan Vandersar, and is brought down by Delvarius Pettisclaw, and that'll bring up 4th and short for the Keystones. So do you go for it here?
Nah, Drew, you've already got a big enough lead. If your guy has a big enough boot, might as well just come away with 3. You don't want to leave any points on the field, even when you've got a big lead like this, because, you know, if Louisville learned anything from last week between the Sockeyes and the Texans, no big lead is insurmountable.
The left-footed kicker for the Keystones comes onto the field as everybody is set, and the snapper is now down in the crouch. He takes a snap, puts it down, and the left-footed kicker puts his foot through the ball, and the ball sails through the air, and the 50-yard field goal is good, and that's another Kingman's Kicks for Kids. Kingman's Fish Market will donate $1,000 to a charity of the Pennsylvania Keystones choice after that field goal. Kingman's Fish Market and Kicks for Kids, helping kids fight whatever they're fighting. You're listening to the GSL Thursday Night Football game brought to you by Newfoundland Chalk on the Sportpuck Radio Network. And your score with 12 minutes and 19 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter from Beaver Stadium in University Park, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania 31, Louisville 10.
Boys, what are you at? Now listen what I'm telling you. What do all the famous plays from the NFL history, the 65 toss power trap, the ghost to the post, the Hail Mary, and all that, what do they have in common? They started with an idea on a chalkboard with a piece of chalk, Newfoundland chalk. So all you GSL owners, make sure your 8 is not a 9. Make sure your X is not an O. Trust Newfoundland Chalk for all your imaginary plays. We got pink, yellow, green, red, blue, you name it. Well, we're out of white right now because of the COVID situation, but we'll get it back in stock soon. So come on down to Newfoundland Chalk, get your plays right. Come on down, we got the chalk for all your needs. Newfoundland Chalk, we got the chalk for all your needs.
Holy mackerel, what's that smell? Oh, I know what it is. It's Kingman's Fish Market off of Western Drive in Anchorage. We get our fish fresh from the boats daily, so you don't have to worry about it sitting in shipping containers like they do in the lower 48. We have cod, mackerel, pollock, salmon, and heck, we even do it for the halibut. Also, we have crabs too. So come on down to Kingman's Fish Market off of Western Drive, and remember, if it smells fishy, it's Kingman's Fish Market.
Will blow me down, me hearties. This be matey Paisley Pete for the fair shop in all the land and on the waters. Davy Jones Footlocker. Ye needn't be heading to yon ends of the earth to be finding the greatest deals on the best footwear you'll be finding on the 7 seas. Dead men may tell no tales, but you'll be singing the shanties of Davy Jones Footlocker after discovering all the quid you'll be saving. Bring about the horizon that'll lead ye to the fairest port on the waters. Davy Jones Footlocker, they be yar.
And Jake, right now, looks like Pennsylvania is firmly in control as they just put another 3 spot on the Lightning. And what do you do right now if you're the Pennsylvania coach?
You just tell them not to be complacent because anything can happen in this league. And if the Louisville defense is able to turn over your offense and convert those turnovers into points, that could be a lot of quick fire offense and because of the defense for Louisville. And they could turn this game around in a heartbeat. Yet with the way Claude Vincent manages the game, is a great leader out on the field for the Keystones, I don't see that happening like the whole sockeye Texan situation last week.
Andrew Nichols comes on to kick off for Pennsylvania. Nichols raises his right arm, calls out to either side, runs up to the ball, puts his right foot through the ball, and the ball sails through the air and out of the back of the end zone. It'll be another touchback for Louisville as they will start from their own 25. Jameel Davis is leading the guys out on the field, and he's just got to find some sort of confidence here in the second half so he can counter this highly aggressive Pennsylvania D. He sets up in the shotgun with Corey Jones to his right-hand side and a 2x2 in front of him. Takes a snap. Wrap draw to Corey Jones as he goes opposite side up the left side, and he is brought down by Devontae Best after a gain of 4. That'll bring up 2nd and 6 for Louisville.
Yeah, he has to find a way to settle down. He gave up 2 quick scores to the Keystones there in the first half, and he just has to find a way to settle his feet, get him underneath him, and just step up and make key throws. And when you have a good running back like Corey Jones, that can help a young quarterback out in a situation like this.
He takes a snap, hands off to Jones, who goes up the middle and is met there at the line of scrimmage by Marcus Ikapuna Imawana and Tim Lara for a gain of 1, and they'll bring up 3rd and 5 for the Lightning. Jameel Davis, he's trying to show that he's not scared of this defense as he hurries everybody up to the line of scrimmage. He steps back in the shotgun. Takes a snap, fakes a handoff, goes left side. It's intended for his tight end, Justin Turner, and it sails over his head. And just like that, it's a 3 and out for Louisville.
He heard footsteps. Those front 4 were in the backfield and making him feel uncomfortable. He was able to step up, luckily, but he was in between steps, threw the ball, and it just went over the head of his intended receiver, his tight end, Justin Turner.
Colin Miller comes back onto the field for the Lightning to punt the ball, and Marshall Devereaux is back deep for the Keystones. He takes the chest-high snap, puts the right foot through the ball, and the ball is sailing. This is a good punt for Miller, and it looks like Marshall Devereaux will field it from his own 20, and he's trying to find some blocks, and there Bartleby once again, just like a lightning bolt, through the blockers, and is able to bring Marshall Devereaux down, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Pennsylvania from their own 29-yard line. After that 51-yard punt, Claude Vincent will come back onto the field and start his next drive from his own 29-yard line. Vincent sets up in the shotgun, takes a chest-high snap, fakes the handoff to Taquan, and he looks over his left-hand side, and he's going way down the field, and the ball just sails out of the hands of Ryan Vandersar, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Keystones.
They are not letting the grass grow underneath their feet, figuratively speaking. They want to put this game even further away than what they have so far. They've already got a 21-point lead. That's a 3-score differential. And now they really want to insulate him from any chance of the Lightning coming back.
Vincent back in the shotgun. 1 lone back beside him, 2 to either side. Takes the waist-high snap, fakes the handoff, now rolls out to his left, comes out of the pocket rarely, and he goes short, intended for Alfredo Cameron, and the ball just out of the reach of Cameron. That'll bring up 3rd and long for the Keystones.
Yeah, I'm not sure what went on there. There was no heat. I guess that was a planned bootleg out to the left-hand side. Vincent can use his wheels, yet with the protection that his front 5 gives him, he doesn't go out of the pocket very often because there's really no need to.
Claude Vincent sets back up in the shotgun, 1 back to his right-hand side. He's got 3 to his left, 1 to his right. He takes the waist-high snap, brings the ball up, and he's looking over his left-hand side, and the pass just goes out of bounds, intended for Isaac Dixon, and there you have a quick 3 and out, and Louisville really needs to capitalize on this 3 and out that Pennsylvania basically gave them.
Yeah, they really need to do whatever they can to help out Jamil Davis, lead him down the field. He needs every bit of help he can get. And right now, looks like they're going to have a favorable field unless Nichols puts a big boot into this next punt.
Nichols comes back out onto the field, takes a chest-high snap, puts his right foot through it, and it sails upward, and Terrell Smith is back at his own 24, and he calls for a fair catch, and it'll be that was a pretty good boot from Nichols, a 47-yard punt, and it'll be 1st and 10 from the Louisville 24.
I think Louisville was hoping for one of those balls to go out of bounds like Nichols did in the first half so they can have a little bit better field position, but still, that's a lot better than being 1st and 10 from their own 10. They have 76 yards to work with as opposed to 90 something. So, you try to look at it as any positive way you can.
Jamil Davis back in the shotgun. He is calling out an audible, trying to get everybody on the same page. He's got 1 back in the backfield. He swaps the back over to his right-hand side. He's got 2 by 2 on either side. He takes the snap, fakes the handoff, and he's immediately caught in the backfield by Brent Hoover and also Tim Lara, and they are going to drop him for a loss of 8. You're talking about, 76 yards to go. Now they've got, a lot longer to go.
Yeah, Drew, I think that's 84 yards. I was able to get that before you. And now, holy cow, you've got to deal with a lot longer field and a 21-point deficit and a defense that is just chomping at the bit to get at you.
Jamil Davis back in the shotgun, trying to get everybody on the same page once again, calls on the audible. He better get this play off fast, man. And it looks like it'll be a delay of game, 5-yard penalty. That'll bring up 2nd and 23. I mean, they were already facing a 2nd and 18. Now it's a 2nd and 23.
Yeah, that's not going to really help them out. I mean, you got to find something to get some more confidence for the young quarterback. And, you just ate another penalty. I mean, you just ate 8-yard loss on that sack. And now you've got, a loss of 13 altogether. And you're facing a 2nd and a really long to get a 1st down. Jamil Davis just shaking his head after that last play. He sets back up in the shotgun. He's got a 3 by 2 and a lone backfield. He takes a snap, steps back, and he goes over to his left-hand side, and he's complete to his receiver, C.J. Brown. Short gains back that 5-yard penalty, and he'll bring up 3rd and 18 from their 16, and Marquise Allen with the tackle. He hurries everybody up to the line of scrimmage. Once again, does not want to get another delay of game. Jamil Davis in the shotgun. 1 back to his left-hand side. He's got a 2 by 2 as he takes the chest-high snap. He rolls out to his right a little bit, and he finds DeMarcus Wilson down the field for an 18-yard gain. That'll bring up, hey, that's enough for a 1st down, and they converted that 2nd and forever into a 1st and 10 from their own 34-yard line. Now that's what I'm talking about when it comes to finding some confidence for your young playmaker. Just give him enough time to make the right decision. He steps up, makes the completion to DeMarcus Wilson, and now you've got a 1st and 10 from your own 34 as opposed to, having the goal line at the back of your feet.
1st and 10 from the 34. Davis takes a snap, hands off to Corey Jones, who goes up the middle, and he gains a fair amount on that as it brings up 2nd and short. Tackle made by Billy Mullins. It'll be 2nd and 3 from their own 41.
Good job there by the front five to, they showed that they had enough stamina to hold off their front four, and now they're opening up holes and able to get Corey Jones into the second level, and now you're facing a 2nd and short.
Jamil Davis back in the shotgun with Corey Jones to his right-hand side. He's got 2 receivers to his left-hand side and 1 tight to his right. He calls out the audible. Takes a snap, fakes a handoff, and he goes to the right side for his big tight end, Brent Bentley O'Malley, and that'll fall short. It'll bring up 3rd and 3 for the Lightning. He's trying to hurry everybody up, Jake.
Yeah, they really need to score. They need to score fast and in bunches.
Jamil Davis back in the shotgun once again. Takes a snap, looks to his right, throws, and he's got Marcus Wilson for enough. Is that enough? Yeah, it looks like it'll be enough for a first down. Tackle made by Marquise Allen. And we're moving the chains, folks, and it'll be 1st and 10 from the Louisville 45.
I think Jamil's got the right cadence going right now. They've got a little bit of momentum, just try and keep it up, and they want to see if they can at least get some more points on the board after this opportunity's been handed to them.
Jamil Davis back in the shotgun. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, goes to his left-hand side, and the ball is incomplete. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Lightning. They are really hurrying up right now. Jamil Davis back. He hurries everybody to the line of scrimmage. He takes the snap, hands it off to Bartleby. Bartleby's going up the right side, and he's brought down by Devontae Best. We call his name out once again, Devontae Best. After a gain of 2, that'll bring up 3rd and long for the Lightning.
Yeah, hopefully they can find the same luck as they did as they were backed up on their goal line, because they have really got to have a wild hair up their butts to get everybody down the field.
Jamil Davis sets back up in the shotgun, calls out the play. He's got 2 to his left, a single tight to his right, and 2 in the backfield on either side of him. Takes the snap, gets a little bit of protection from his running backs, and he throws deep right. It's intended for DeMarcus Wilson. The ball sails high, and it'll bring up 4th down.
This opportunity is going to pass by him, because do you really go for it from your own 47? You still have another quarter to go, and you can possibly reel off a few points there, but, time is slipping by for him. We've had, just over 5 minutes to go here in the third? Yeah, they really need a miracle. They need to get the ball turned over into their hands before they get into the 4th quarter and possibly score off of one of Claude Vincent's rare mistakes.
Colin Miller comes back onto the field. He's got to really give him a precision punt right here. Takes a snap, punts it, and it goes out of bounds. A 38-yard punt that will pin Pennsylvania back at their own 15 as Claude Vincent comes back onto the field for the Keystones. Vincent sets everybody up at the line of scrimmage. He has 2 to his right, 2 to his left, and 1 single back in the backfield with him. He takes the snap, steps up in the pocket, and he's going deep right for his brother Chad Vincent after a gain of 18, brought down by Brendan Rogers, and we're moving the chains that quickly, folks. It'll be 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line.
When Vincent is rolling, he's hard to beat. Seriously, I mean, he showed that in Toronto. He showed that last week. And this week, he's just showing that when he is in rhythm, there's not going to be much to deter him from the win.
Claude Vincent gets everybody set up at the line of scrimmage, steps back in the backfield in the shotgun with 1 lone man back there with him. He takes a snap, hands off to Rogers, who goes around the right end. He's trying to break into the backfield. He is finally brought down around the numbers by Terrence Brewer, and there's a penalty on the play. That is a 25-yard gain if the penalty doesn't go against him, as we go down to the field to see what the call is on the pitch. Ooh, 2 men. Yeah, they're going to need 12 men on the field, aren't they, Jake?
Yeah, they're going to need as many people, and even if they sneak them onto the field, they had 12 men on the field at one time, and now you're just helping out Pennsylvania with their cause as we tick down here in the final seconds of the 3rd quarter.
with 4 minutes to go here in the third. It's 1st and 10 from the Louisville 40. Claude Vincent goes under center. He's got a pro formation in the backfield and 2 tights to either side. Takes the snap, hands off to the fullback dive. Well, this is rare as he goes up the middle, or tries to go up the middle, and he is pushed back, and it's a loss of 3 on the play. Tackle made by Nick Banyard and Jesse Johnson, and now it'll be 2nd and 13 for the Keystones.
Louisville needed a stop. They needed to do something to stop the hemorrhaging right now, because they are just, that defense is just huffing and they are puffing and they are not knocking down any houses.
That'll bring up 2nd and 13 for Louisville. Vincent takes the snap, hands off once again to his fullback Jimmy Dunn, who goes up the middle and is immediately met at the line of scrimmage by Jesse Johnson. That'll bring up 3rd and long for Pennsylvania.
I don't know what Pennsylvania was thinking right there. I guess they were trying to catch him off balance by another fullback dive, but Louisville showed there 2 times in a row that they are ready for that fullback dive. You rarely see that anymore in the game, but they brought out their fullback Jimmy Dunn, and now they're facing 3rd and 12 from the Louisville 42.
Claude Vincent steps back in the shotgun, 1 lone back to his left. He's got a 2x2 in front of him. Takes the chest high snap, steps up in the pocket and throws deep left, intended for Ryan Vandersar, and the ball is batted away by Delvarius Pettisclaw, but it looks like there is a penalty on the play. What did you see there, Jake?
I think Pettisclaw decided to be a little frisky there. Got his hand on him. Oh, it looks like he was holding him there. That's going to go in the favor of the Keystones.
Here we go down to the field for the call on the play. Yep, pass interference. That is going to give them a chunk of field. They were facing a 3rd and 12 from their own 42. After that penalty, I guess that was a widely move there by Claude Vincent.
Yeah, he must have seen them getting a little frisky, and he just chucked it down there, knowing that if he went for him, that would give them a shorter field.
Right, Claude Vincent gets everybody settled down at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 1st and goal from the Louisville 2. He goes under center, pro formation in the backfield. And there's a flag on the play. Looks like we're not going to get this one off as we go down to the field. What do you think you saw down there, Jake?
I think they tried to sneak another dude onto the field.
Yep, but it looks like too many men on the field once again. That'll inch them that much closer to the goal line. It'll be 1st and goal from the Louisville 1. Vincent under center, steps back and tries to find his brother in the end zone, and the pass sails high. That'll bring up 2nd and goal from the Louisville 1. He quickly gets everybody back to the line of scrimmage. He has 2 in the backfield and 2 tights. Vincent under center, takes a snap, hands it off to Taquan Roger, who goes up the middle for another touchdown, and that extends the lead even further, Jake.
Yep, that's what you want to do when you're Pennsylvania. You want to make this as uncomfortable for the other team so they can't come back. And there, we're now up 37-10 with just over 2 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter.
We'll have an update on the Salt Lake GSL game here in just a few seconds from Bobbert, as Andrew Nichols will, Vernon Ross will now come onto the field to kick the extra point for the Keystones. Vernon Ross sets up, the ball is snapped and placed down, and he kicks it true, and that brings the score. Pennsylvania 38, Louisville 10. And after that score, we will step aside, folks, and we'll continue our coverage of the Gridiron Simulation League after a word from our sponsors. This is the Sportpuck Radio Network.
Hey everybody, it's your buddy Jake Akbehavi back once again for Margot's High Class Palace now. My mom called me up and said, you need to go by your Christian name, and that's Jake Akbehavi. So I'm back once again, and you know what? I told Devontae about what's happening, and Devontae kind of chuckled, said, you know what? Let's have a Your Mama's Awesome sale. If you go into Margot's High Class Palace right now, you can tell them, your mom's awesome. Why is everybody chuckling? Seriously, if you tell them your mom's awesome, Devontae and crew will give an extra 15% off your upcoming rental of a tuxedo or a evening gown or just whatever for shindig season.
And they'll make sure that you're taken care of. And also, don't worry, you can also get your scrub mongering needs taken care of over at Margot's High Class Palace. So it's the Your Mom's Awesome sale over at Margot's High Class Palace. And tell them your buddy Jake Akbehavi sent you. Why are you all chuckling at me?
This is Goose for the finest fish market this side of the Pamlico Sound. Kingman's Fish Market. Kingman's known round this fair land for the best quality fish for the best prices. Don't be getting mummicked by them dingbatter fish markets who are nothing but middlemen, wanting only what's right for them and not caring about you and me. So head on up to or down the waterside to the best fish market round these parts. Kingman's Fish Market, now located up in Oregon Inlet. Kingman's is located in Anchorage, San Francisco, and now Oregon Inlet, North Carolina. So what's that smell? It's Kingman's Fish Market. Hoit hoit on the sound side.
Has isolation kept you from being social? Does distancing keep you distant from the person you might come to love? If you're looking for a solution for your lack of love in the time of shelter, then look no further than the pandemic's #1 dating site, OkCovid. OkCovid's 19-point personality test is a positive way to partner you up with the one you can quarantine with for the rest of your life. OkCovid will help increase the rate at which you can find that special someone to spread your love with. The pandemic's #1 dating site, OkCovid. It's infectious.
This is the GSL Thursday Night Football game brought to you by Newfoundland Chalk, and our score from Beaver Stadium in University Park, Pennsylvania. The home Pennsylvania Keystones 38, and you're visiting Louisville Lightning 10. And it looks like we have an update on the score from the exhibition game in Salt Lake City between the Salt Lake Trappers and the GSL Developmentals. Bobbert, what's happening out in Salt Lake City?
Hey guys, thanks once again. This is Bobbert, and I've got an update on the score. After a 12-yard Sione Tuikolobatu touchdown, the Salt Lake Trappers decided to go for two, and there, Four Feathers found Mahanrai Agnarsson, the Utah standout, for a 2-point conversion, and that now extends the lead to 7 for the home Trappers, and they now have the lead at 17-10. Back to you guys. Thanks so much, Bobbert, for that update. And your score here from Beaver Stadium in University Park, Pennsylvania. Your home Pennsylvania Keystones 38, and you're visiting Louisville Lightning 10. And we have just over 2 minutes to go in the third frame.
I mean, Louisville, this is slipping out of Louisville's hands right now, Drew. Claude Vincent just led them down the field, and that one pass interference gave them 40 yards on that penalty. 40 yards. That inched them even closer down into the red zone, and, you know, Louisville's going to need a massive Moses parting the Red Sea miracle to get them anywhere close to even tying this game.
All right, Andrew Nichols comes out onto the field. The right-footed punter does all the kickoff duties for Pennsylvania.
You said duties.
Thanks, Jake, for that sophomore humor right there. And Andrew Nichols raises his right hand, looks to either side of him, makes sure everybody is set, runs up to the ball, puts the right foot into it, and the ball sails once again out of the end zone for a touchback. And that will mean Louisville will start from their own 25-yard line. And coming up at the end of the game will be the Kingman's Fish Market GSL Thursday Night Football postgame show. And Whitney Jackson will have all the scores and highlights. That's right. We could say all the scores and highlights from tonight's games, because not only are you listening to the Pennsylvania-Louisville game here on the Sportpuck Radio Network, we also have on the GSL Network the Salt Lake GSL game, and we will have the scores and highlights from both of those games from Whitney Jackson live in the Sportpuck Network studios. Jamil Davis coming back out on the field, and right now you got to think they got to just find a score just to find some sort of confidence going into next week.
Yeah, they call it garbage time, and you know what? It's still stats in the book. You know, you still want to get whatever you can before you go home after a loss like this.
2:40 to go in the third quarter. Jamil Davis in the shotgun with Corey Jones to his left, and he's got a 2x2 to either side. Takes a snap, hands it off to Corey Jones, wrap draw up the middle, and he is met behind the line. He couldn't even get to the line of scrimmage as he is met there by Brent Hoover.
There's that bad man once again, Brent Hoover.
And Jamil Davis is looking to hurry folks up as we come to the final seconds of the third quarter. 2nd and 13 from the Louisville 22. Jamil Davis sets up in the shotgun. He's got 2x2 in front of him, and Corey Jones to his right-hand side. He takes the chest-high snap. He steps back, and it looks like he has a wheel route pass to Corey Jones, and he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 1 on the play, and the Lightning right now are going backwards. They are, I don't know if they know how to get down the field anymore.
Just the way things are going here in the third, they're trying to hurry things up to get down the field, and they might be out kicking their own coverage on the offensive side of the ball. As Devontae Best just stepped up and leveled Corey Jones. He might be hearing some bells, and they're not wedding bells he's hearing right now. He's hearing the bells of the end of the game. He probably wants to go home after that hit.
I would not blame him one bit. Jamil Davis sets back up in the shotgun. He's got a 3x2 in front of him. Takes a snap, and he calls his own number as he goes around the left end, and he is met downfield by Devontae Best, and we are coming closer to the end of the third quarter. 42 seconds left in the fourth quarter. That brings up a 4th and 6, as it looks like Jamil Davis, everybody was covered. That single high coverage was just messing with his head, and he decided, hey, if you're covered downfield, I might as well try and beat you with my feet.
Yeah, when everything else is shut down, you might as well do what you can to get some yardage, and it's something for him, right? It now brings up a 4th and 6, and Jamil Davis is just trying everything he can to hang his hat on so he goes into next week not having so many blemishes in the book, as now, Colin Miller comes on to punt the ball away for the Lightning. 42 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Colin Miller steps back to receive the punt, and downfield for the Keystones is Marshall Devereaux. Miller takes the snap, puts his right foot through it, and it is fielded Pennsylvania 24-25, and Marshall Devereaux is met almost immediately. He only gets about 4 yards on the punt return, and he's tackled by backup linebacker Brad Allen. With 31 seconds left in the third frame, it looks like there will be one last play put on by the Pennsylvania Keystones before the end of the third frame. Claude Vincent, Chad's his brother, plays tight end. Claude back in the shotgun with Rogers to his left. Takes a chest-high snap, hands it off to Taquan Rogers, goes up the middle, and he's met by another one of those linemen from the Louisville Lightning, number 90, Halapoli Vaati Utoi Kamanu, and also number 98, Latavius Mariani. And that brings us to the end of the third quarter, and your score from Beaver Stadium in University Park, Pennsylvania, the Pennsylvania Keystones 38 and the visiting Louisville Lightning 10. After we come back from our messages, we are going to start the fourth quarter from Beaver Stadium in University Park, Pennsylvania. We'll continue our coverage of the Gridiron Simulation League after word from our sponsors. This is the Sportpuck Radio Network. Are you looking for a pharmacist who knows his stuff? Are you looking for an apothecary who knows that you can find better living through great chemistry? Look no further than the Mid-State's award-winning pharmacy, Dawson's Pharmacy. They have the pills for what ails you. Matt, June, Tanisha, and the rest of the crew will find the right match for any problem you're facing. Not only is Dawson's Pharmacy an award-winning pharmacy, they're also an award-winning snack bar and soda fountain. So if you're looking for a great po' boy, cheesesteak, or just an old-fashioned hot dog, belly on up to the bar and order whatever you have a hankering for. And also, you might hear a story about a potential award-winning fish from Jose and Bobbert as they argue as to which one caught the biggest
Vegas and it got away. And if you're looking for a great compliment to your snack, just talk to one of their soda jerks who'll fix you up with that real sugar soft drink to help make the meal just right. Is the Mid-State's finest pharmacy, Dawson's Pharmacy, located on the second left on the right. They have the pills for what ails ya.
Welcome to the fourth quarter of tonight's Newfoundland Chalk GSL Thursday Night Football game on the Sportpuck Radio Network. We apologize about the technical difficulties we're having right now. We had a power surge that decided to blank out our board, so we're having to do this over the phone. I'm Drew Abernathy. We are live from the Beaver Dam in University Park, Pennsylvania. And joining me as always is my buddy Jake Akbehavi. Jake, are you seriously ordering a pizza right now?
Well, it's garbage time and there's nothing else to do and I'm hungry. Do you want some?
Jake, we're a professional outfit.
That's not the question I asked. Do you want some pizza?
Well, yeah, just give me some chicken and pineapple and bacon.
Pineapple? You eat pineapple on pizza all the time. I was just trying to be controversial.
Well, your score here from the Beaver Dam in University Park, it's your Pennsylvania Keystones 38 and the Louisville Lightning 10. And the story of the first half was, especially the first quarter, Louisville got out to a hot start, and then things fell apart in the second quarter, and it's been all Pennsylvania ever since, as they have cracked off 38 unanswered points. And Claude Vincent is bringing the team back on the field. They are going right to left on your radio dial. Vincent under center. He has one back in the backfield, double tights to either side, and one slot receiver over to the left. He takes the handoff, hands it off to Taquan Rogers, goes straight up the gut, and he is almost into the defensive third, and he's brought down by Delvarius Pettis-Claw, and that'll bring up 1st and 10 from the Pennsylvania 48 as they are knocking on the door to get into Louisville territory.
Yeah, can I get a beer with that? You do that in Pennsylvania?
Jake, seriously? We got a game going on here. Well,
I gotta make sure I'm taken care of, and I'm taking care of you too. You don't have to pay me back this time, seriously.
Well, thanks for that, Jake. So Claude Vincent sets up in the shotgun with Taquan to his right. 2x2 in front of him, 5 on the line. He takes the chest-high snap. He hands it off to Taquan and goes back up the middle once again, and he's brought down just beyond the line of scrimmage for a gain of 4, maybe 5 by Nick Banyard, and then bring up 2nd and 5 for the Keystones. Give a lot of credit for Nick Banyard not giving up on that play, because he had squirted by a few defenders and also those bigs up front. You got to credit his guards, Weeks and Morales. Mendoza's are on the defensive side. Morales for opening up those lanes, able to seal off their blocks so he could get up the field for a 5 spot right there. Claude Vincent back in the shotgun. It is 2nd and 5 from the Louisville 47. He puts Taquan over on the right side in the right slot. He's got a 2x3 in front of him. He takes a snap, and Taquan goes in jet motion. He hands it off, and Taquan changes direction, goes in between the guards once again, and he almost broke free and is brought down by Jesse Johnson. That will take him a little bit further into Louisville territory. It'll be 1st and 10 from the Louisville 40.
My goodness, Jesse Johnson just prevented another score right there. Give those bigs up front. Was it Morales and Weeks? Yeah, Morales and Weeks, a lot of credit for sealing off their blocks once again. And also that big center, Glenn Wilkins, pancake that linebacker who was trying to sneak up in that gap. Big credit to those 3. They've been playing, actually all 5, they've all been playing really well tonight against the Lightning, and they're up the way they are because of them.
Vincent in the shotgun. He has a 3x2 to either side. Puts Harrington in motion. Puts it in for jet sweep to Harrington as he tries to break around the right end, and he's brought down just beyond the line of scrimmage by Delvarius Pettis-Claw once again. And that'll bring up 2nd and 6, maybe 7, depends on where the spot is. Yeah, 2nd and 7 for the Keystones.
Yeah, they are just not giving up. And we haven't seen a whole lot of jet sweep tonight, yet they've been doing it here, almost like double wing football. That one play with Taquan Rogers, they basically put him out in the single wing, double wing. the way that he had them. And, you know, if you ever watch double wing football, they'll do those double handoffs, those triple handoffs, and, you know, off that one double handoff, one of those running backs will just put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. And after all those front five have been mixing and matching and, you know, blocking and pulling, they try to catch him and pinch him so they can get more yards up the middle.
Vincent back in the shotgun. One lone back to his side, single tight to his right, Dubs to his left. Takes a chest-high snap, steps up in the pocket, and he goes across the middle, and he tried to get Casey Harrington. The ball just sailed a little bit too high as Casey Harrington used all 5'10" of himself and that 30-inch vertical to climb the ladder, and he was not able to bring the ball down.
Only a 30-inch vertical. That kid's got some hops. I bet you he could dunk over all three of us.
Three of us?
You know, the production guy down the hall. Yeah, that dude.
Okay, Vincent back in the shotgun. He brings his brother back as the H-back. Shotgun pro formation with twins to his left. Takes a chest-high snap, fakes the handoff, steps up in the pocket, and he's looking for his brother who did a release block right there, and the ball sails just a little bit high. That'll bring up 4th down for the Keystones.
Here's a guy we haven't called much as a punter. Now, he's been doing a great job on the kickoffs, making them start from their own 25 nearly every single time. And yet, you know, don't pass over Andrew Nichols. He can be a weapon. I mean, Colin Miller on the other side is a nasty weapon. He is a coffin corner dude. But Andrew Nichols can boom a play. And right now, he's going to have to play his geometry, see how he did it in high school, and angle this to make sure that Louisville doesn't get a better spot if he tries to get a little too cheeky.
Little too cheeky. That good description.
Well, I thank you, Drew.
So Nichols takes a chest-high snap, puts foot through ball, and Terrell Smith is back there, and he scoots out of the way, and one of the gunners downs it at the 25. Looks like it was Casey Harrington who does a whole bunch for this team. He downs it at the 12-yard line after a 25-yard punt. Got those mixed up. And that'll bring up 1st and 10 for Louisville from their own 12-yard line.
Yeah, this young quarterback, Jamil Davis, he's got to feel uncomfortable with this. They've got to put it on the ground. Don't go to the air. Get it on the ground. Try and get as many yards as you can to get out of the shadow of that end zone, because that is not a fun place to be.
Jamil Davis comes onto the field with his team, and he goes under center with one lone back. Their fullback, they're using him as the running back. Wonder what's going on with the running back situation. And luckily, the winds have died down for the punters today. Takes a snap, hands it off to Darius Anthony, who goes straight up the middle, trying to test that front four once again. They haven't been able to test them very well, because those front four have really answered every single test that they've thrown at them.
That is very true, Drew. And right there you saw Brent Hoover, that super hyperactive linebacker for the Keystones, just step up and get the hit, and Marquise Allen also came in and finished him off.
Jamil Davis steps back in the shotgun, and he has an empty backfield, 3x2 in front of him. Takes a chest-high snap, steps up in the pocket, and he goes right side for DeMarcus Wilson, who was on a simple out route, and he turns it upfield and brought down, and we have a nice little game right there. They'll bring up maybe 1st down. No, looks like they are going to put it down for a 3rd and 1 for the Lightning.
Yeah, that's kind of a little, almost, you know, we're used to seeing a wheel route where they go out and up. Yet LSU a few years ago, when they had that one head coach who went to Kansas, would do wheel routes where they go straight and wheel out and up. Do kind of a weird little double move like that, and they were pretty successful with that play.
Anthony back in the shotgun. Anthony to his right, 2x2 in front of him. Takes the snap, hands it off to Darius Anthony, who goes off right tackle, and he is broken free, folks. He is at the 30, the 30, the 35, and brought down at the 40, 41-yard line, and that'll bring up 1st down, moving the chains for Louisville, as Louisville's showing a little bit of spark here, Jake.
Give them a lot of credit. They have been down this whole game, and you got to get it where you can. You've got to find some positivity they can build off of for next week. yeah, you're going to hang your head down low. This has been a hard game. Yet, they've got to find something that they can hang their hat on, and that is one of those things that they can. A great little run like that, and hopefully Jamil can keep them going down the field. It's 1st and 10 for the Louisville 41. Jamil Davis in the shotgun. Takes the chest high snap, steps back, and he's looking left side, and the ball just sails high, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Lightning. Jamil Davis is getting back in the shotgun. He wants to try this again. He wants to make up a lot of lost ground. He wants to make this a respectful score. Yeah, Drew, can you blame him? You know, looks like Keystone defense is kind of mixing in their second unit, and you know, you might as well get something to build off of. Put on your resume for next week. Jamil Davis back in the shotgun with Anthony to his left-hand side, and he's got Dubs to either side. He calls out the audible, lifts his leg to try and puts one of his slot men in motion. Takes the chest-high snap, hands it off to Anthony, who changed direction on the wrap draw, and he goes up right guard, and he's brought down just beyond the line of scrimmage by Tim Lara and Felix Ferguson. Lara has been an active part of this defense. Not just Lara, that whole front four. And then you add in Hoover and the other linebackers. They have just been all over the place. And what happens when you have your front seven, especially the front four, you're only rushing 4. That means you have 7 other people who can drop back in coverage. And, you know, they're making Jamil Davis have to use every part of his route tree. And when all the fruit's picked, there ain't no fruit left for you to take home in your basket. That was kind of a tortured metaphor. Well, thank you, Drew. You're welcome. Davis sets up under center. He has a 1 lone back behind him and 2 tights either side and 2 slots also to either side. He now calls out an audible. He goes back in the traditional pistol and brings one of the slots in as an H-back. Davis takes the waist-high snap, fakes the handoff. He drops back, and he is just hammered. We're about a loss about 11, 12 yards right there, and he's brought down from behind on his blind side. He was looking to go left, yet coming right side was Devontae Best, and Devontae Best gave him his best for a loss of 10 yards, 10, 11 yards. Yeah, that is all on that right tackle, Jamarius Atkinson. He did not pick up that block, and Best just flashed on by him. Well, he didn't flash him. He went right on by him, and he dropped Jamil for a loss of about 11. And that brings on their punter, Colin Miller. It looks like Miller will be back to punt it away for the Lightning, and Marshall Devereaux will be back to receive the punt. Miller takes the chest-high snap, puts his right foot through it, and Marshall Devereaux, will he return it? Nope, he puts his arm up, and he almost muffs the punt. Ooh, as he fair catches it from his own 18-yard line, and that would have really given at least the Lightning a little bit of life to live off of. Yeah, instead of being down by 28, they would have only lost by 21. Yeah, a little bit of life. They could have built off that. That would have been a positive thing for their special teams especially. Claude Vincent leads the squad back onto the field. He sets up in the shotgun with 1 lone back beside him. That's Taquan Rogers, and he's got a 2x2 in front of him. Takes a snap. Looks like it's going to be a wrap draw up the middle, and he is brought down just beyond the line of scrimmage after a small gain by Omar Newberry and Halapolivaati Utoikamanu, and that'll bring up 2nd and 5 for the Lightning. Yeah, one thing I've been impressed by Utoikamanu is he's just been positive. Everybody else has been hanging their head, and he was been kind of getting in their face, been smiling, trying to give them some positive reinforcement that, you know, yeah, we're down by a lot, but that doesn't mean you don't stop trying. I really like Halapolivaati. I hope that he gets a starting position either here with the Lightning or maybe goes to another team and is able to be an anchor for their defensive line. Vincent under center this time with Taquan deep set, 2 tights to either side. Vincent takes the snap, hands off to Rogers, who goes off right guard and is brought down just beyond the line of scrimmage for a small gain by Alex Lasky and Brad Allen. That'll bring up 3rd and 2 for the Keystones. What do you do here if you're Pennsylvania? Don't get hurt. Seriously. You've got a great big lead. I'm surprised their first unit's still in there. I think they're just trying to, get a few plays in that they normally wouldn't get in, go on to next week and have a few more arrows in their quiver that they can use against next week's opponent. Vincent sets up in the shotgun, 3rd and 2 for the Keystones. Takes the chest high snap, fakes the handoff, steps up in the pocket, and he's going deep. Oh my gosh, he's got Harrington who's got his man beat, and the ball just sails a little too high. That'll bring up 4th and 2 for Pennsylvania, and he really had a step on him. We might have been calling a house call as opposed to a punt call by Andrew Nichols. That Harrington has some wheels, my gosh. I was not expecting him to get behind that defensive backfield, and he just flew by everybody. That Nickelback didn't know what was going on. He might have taken a photograph. We know you like Nickelback. I really do, Drew. Why do you have an issue with that? Social stigma. That's all I got to say, Jay. Andrew Nichols comes onto the field to punt it away for the Keystones with 7:13 to go in the ball game. 4th and 2 from their own 26. Back deep is Terrell Smith. Andrew Nichols takes the chest high snap, puts his right foot through it, and the ball sails through the air and is fair caught by Terrell Smith from their own 30. That'll bring a 1st and 10 for the Lightning. You know what? I think it's a smart move right now. Jamil took a nasty hit from Devontae Best. Maybe they should have pulled him a little bit earlier, but, on Monday morning or Tuesday morning quarterbacking or Friday morning quarterbacking right now, you got to get him rested up. You got to make sure he doesn't take any more pounding than he has, and then he gets dropped for 11 yards. Luckily, they have a decent backup in A.J. Morgenthau, who comes onto the field to lead the offense. Morgenthau under center with Anthony, the deep set back. Takes a snap, hands off to Anthony, who tries left tackle, is brought down by Felix Ferguson. It's another one of those defensive linemen. They have about 5 or 6 that they rotate in and out to give them different looks, and also, fresh pair of legs against a wary front 5. That goes a long way. Oh, yeah, it does. I know as an offensive lineman, when you see a fresh guy who's extremely talented, who could be a starting nose tackle, come onto the field, or a defensive tackle, what have you, you're just hoping that you have that much more juice than he'll ever think of having, so you can keep your star position. Morgenthau under center with Anthony in the deep set. Takes a snap, hands off to Anthony, who tries to break around the right end, and there is that bad man once again. There's about 3 or 4 bad men on this defense, but Tim Lara just dropped him, and it looks like they're going to spot him 1 yard. That'll bring up 3rd and 6 for the Lightning. You almost lose your breath when you're talking about these guys. All 5 or 6 of them. I mean, you've got Marcus Ikapuna Imowana, Alan Wong, Tim Lara, Jermaine McMonagle. We haven't called his name yet, but he really has been sealing off a lot of those whole gaps to keep the runners in check. Also, the backups, man, Felix Ferguson, Frank Shepard, Gabriel Rowe. I mean, you've got 8, 9 defensive linemen who can start anywhere in this league, and they're all on one. They got more treasures than they know what to do with. Actually, they know what to do with. They rotate them in all the time and just flummox your front 5. And that'll bring up 3rd and 6 for the Lightning as Morgenthau comes back onto the field after talking to his offensive coordinator, getting the play in from him. Morgenthau now sets up in the shotgun with one back to his right side and 2 by 2 in front of him. Morgenthau takes the knee-high snap, drops back, and he is just leveled, and he drops the ball. Was he able to get it back? He was able to get it back. Holy cow. Tim Lara almost knocked his head off with that hit. Oh my goodness. We're looking at possibly an injury right there. That was a hard hit. Tim Lara's about 285, 295, and can run a 4.9 40. And he's using all that locomotion to bring down Morgenthau. And we're lucky we're not seeing a stretcher call right here. It is good to see Morgenthau get up under his own power. Colin Miller comes back onto the field. That nasty punter for the Lightning, and back deep for the Keystones is Marshall Devereaux. Miller takes a chest-high snap. He puts his right foot through the ball, and it is off his foot. Holy cow. That's a high, long kick there, Drew. Hopefully he didn't outkick his coverage. Yeah, I bet you Louisville is hoping that too, as Devereaux catches it. He's trying to get a block, and he is brought down after a gain of about 7 or 8 yards by Aaron Allen. Special teams tackle there by Allen. They'll bring up 1st and 10 for the Keystones from their own 31. You know, when you're doing everything you can to make a team, you try whatever you can, especially even to make the special teams. And right there, the linebacker gunner for the Lightning just scooted down the field, and he was able to catch that speedy Devereaux and possibly prevent even bigger gains from the Keystones. And now, instead of being like a 1st and 10 from the 50, it's a 1st and 10 from their own 31. Good point there. They finally put in the backup quarterback, Thomas McDonald. Thomas McDonald comes out on the field, and he has a empty backfield. 3 to his left-hand side, 2 to his right. He lifts his leg, and Harrington will go into the backfield right behind him. McDonald takes a snap, hands off to Harrington, who goes straight up the middle between the tackles, and he breaks free and is brought down after 10, 11, 12 yards by Brad Allen, and we are moving the chains, folks. 1st down, Keystones. Brad Allen is showing a lot of guts to just stay in there, keep taking the pounding, and shed the block. I mean, he was close to being pancaked right there by big old Yancey Malcolm. And Yancey, he did all he could to get out of those big bear paws and to scoot out and bring down that speedy slot receiver, only for a gain of 12, 13, 14. Good heavens, that could have been disastrous for Louisville. I mean, it's already disastrous as it is, right, Jake? Yeah, better you to say it than me. McDonald sets up in the shotgun, brings Harrington from the slot right next to him. Takes a snap, fakes the handoff. He has a lot of time, and he looks over his routes, and coming out of the backfield is Casey Harrington, and the ball just bounces off the ground. That would have been a shoestring tackle right there, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Keystones. He's a young quarterback. I think he was a 2nd-round draft pick out of Morgan State. A lot of good lacrosse played at Morgan State. He was a two-way player, too, there. He played a little bit of safety as well as quarterback. And McDonald just showing, how green he is. And he short-armed that pass to that speedy Casey Harrington. McDonald sets back up in the shotgun, and he brings Harrington out of the slot right next to him. 2 by 2 to either side. Takes the knee-high snap, low snap, and hands it off to Harrington, who goes up the middle once again and is brought down by Omar Newberry and Brad Allen after a little bit of a gain. We'll bring up, 3rd and 3 for the Keystones. This is, even though it's garbage time, this is getting good reputation in against some of the starting front 4 of the Louisville Lightning. They're keeping them in there. It's like, you started this game, you got to finish it. And it gives a little bit of experience for Harrington and also McDonald. Both of them are backups, and it allows them to get repetition, get some pretty good players. McDonald steps back into the shotgun with Harrington to his left-hand side, 2 by 2 in front of him. Takes the chest-high snap and decides to go up the middle, and he is leveled by that dynamic duo once again, Utoi Kamanu and Newberry. They tackled him for a short gain, and yet, yep, Drew, looks like somebody's put the laundry out to dry. I wonder who this penalty is going to be on. It looks like McDonald was looking to pass, yet he saw nothing happen. He decided to use those great wheels of his and go up the middle. That's the only place he had because the defensive ends were crashing in on him. Yeah, Drew, and they're crashing in. And he had only one place to go. That's up. And, if you're moving forward, you ain't moving backward, Thank you so much, John Madden. Well, you're welcome. And Joe Madden's the Cubs manager? No, I think it's Tampa Bay Rays, Devil Rays. They'll always be the Devil Rays in my heart. Yeah, that's going to move them down the field a little bit further. It'll be 1st and 10 now because, right now they're just looking for first downs. Yep. If they can get those first downs, that means they can kneel down after a little while and, just basically seal this game. That was not a good call right there, defensive holding on Delveris Pettisclaw. He's been called for a few penalties tonight. I mean, he's been a pretty active guy. He's made several tackles, and there he just screwed up once again. He's the third cornerback they use in the nickel situations. Yeah, and when they bring him on those nickel situations, he's been pretty good in coverage yet right there. He decided to hold a little bit longer at the dance, and he got called on it by the chaperones. McDonald sets up under center. He's got his fullback and his tailback in the pro formation. Takes the snap, hands it off to his fullback. Fullback dive going off right tackle, and he's brought down just beyond the line of scrimmage by Banyard and Newberry. 2nd and 8 for the Keystones from the Louisville 41. They just got to keep pounding it, trying to get that first down. They want to wind down this clock. They don't want to give anything to this Louisville offense to get on the board, and they really want to rub it in. I mean, they've been talking a lot of junk this past week, and right now, Pennsylvania wants to show, hey, you can't back that talk up. Those checks are bouncing, and we're taking you out we took you behind the woodshed. Holy cow, this has been a whooping here in the Beaver Dam. McDonald in shotgun with Harrington to his left-hand side, Dunn to his right-hand side, singles to either side. Takes a chest-high snap, hands it off to Harrington, who goes off right tackle and is brought down just beyond the line of scrimmage by Martin Harris and Alex Lasky. And do you call a timeout here? No, I wouldn't. I just want to go home. Seriously, that pizza better be here pretty soon. Yeah, I'm getting kind of hungry too. That was a good idea, Jake. Yeah, I know it's probably not the best thing for me to do, but, we're hungry. It's a long ball game, and the Keystones look to be winning. Harrington gets the handoff and goes right up the middle between the guards, and he breaks free into the defensive 30. He's brought down luckily by Latavius Taylor. That'll bring up a 1st and 10, and we are in kneel-down territory right now. Yeah, I mean, they could go for it technically, but why? You've already got these guys down. There's no need to kick them while they're down. As looks like McDonald is going to take his first kneel to end out this game with 1:12 to go in the game. That's right. And your offensive player of the game for the Pennsylvania Keystones has to go to Claude Vincent. Yeah, Claude, you could possibly give it to Tayshawn and Chad Vincent as well for being there for him. Taquan doing a lot of work on the ground. He probably has close to 100. And also his brother, Chad Vincent. It wouldn't surprise me if that dude's got at least 50, 60 yards receiving on the day. That's a lot for a receiver. And he's also one of those guys that, you could drop him back as the H-back and use him to pick up coverage and pick up the rush, so you can give his brother Claude a little bit more time in the pocket. And that's the final kneel down, and that is your ball game, folks. And your final from the Beaver Dam in University Park, Pennsylvania. The Pennsylvania Keystones 38 and the Louisville Lightning 10. We're going to step aside for a couple of minutes as we will continue our coverage of the Gridiron Simulation League after a word from our sponsors. This is the Sportpuck Radio Network.
Holy mackerel, what's that smell? Oh, I know what it is. It's Kingman's Fish Market off of Western Drive in Anchorage. We get our fish fresh from the boats daily, so you don't have to worry about it sitting in shipping containers like they do in the lower 48. We have cod, mackerel, pollock, salmon, and heck, we even do it for the halibut. Also, we have crabs too. So come on down to Kingman's Fish Market off of Western Drive, and remember, if it smells fishy, it's Kingman's Fish Market. Are you thirsty? Are you looking for something that'll do more than just quench your thirst? If so, then choose New Clear Soda. It glows like a reactor, but its smell will refresh the olfactor. Its taste will radiate through you like U-235. It's Nuclear Citrus Soda. One taste will make you go... New Clear Soda, produced by Star City Soft Drinks, made proudly in Roanoke, Virginia since 1965.
Jackson Tate back in the Sportpuck Network studios with your GSL Thursday night game. Your final score, the Louisville Lightning go down to the Pennsylvania Keystones 38-10. It was just a big night for Pennsylvania. 38 unanswered points after Louisville jumped out to a 10-0 lead. So coming up after this, we're going to send it back to Beaver Stadium.
Nice beaver.
Thank you. I just had it stuffed.
Let me help you with that.
Thank you. I had to get that in there once. Beaver Stadium in University Park, Pennsylvania. Back to the booth for Drew Abernathy and Jake Akbehavi with the Kingman's post-game show wrap-up. We're going to send it back to them right after this message from a sponsor. You're listening to GSL Thursday Night Football on the Sportpuck Network.
Hey, Jake.
Yeah, Drew?
I've got a whole bunch of goods I need to get up to Churchill, and I need to do it fast.
Well, the people I trust to get my goods to where I need them to go are the good folks over at Manicotawan Railways. Yep, they go there.
Seriously, they can get them up to Churchill?
Yeah, there's a railway that goes up to Churchill. And if there isn't a railway that goes to the town where you need to get your goods to, Manicotawan Railways has teamed up with Little Rigs on the Prairie so they can get your goods to where they need to go fast.
That's great to know, but what about safety precautions? Because, things are getting crazy right now.
Manicotawan Railways and Little Rigs on the Prairie follow the latest safety guidelines from both the Canadian and the United States governments so they can make sure that your goods and also the drivers and the workers are safe and protected while getting your goods to where they need to go.
So Manicotawan Railways, huh?
That's right, Manicotawan Railways. Yep, they go there.
This is the Newfoundland Chalk GSL Thursday Night Football game on the Sportpuck Radio Network. Thank you for joining us. I am Drew Abernathy, and this is my buddy Jake Akbehavi. Akbehavi, don't forget that. We're listening to your mama. And your final score from the Beaver Dam in University Park, Pennsylvania. The Pennsylvania Keystones defend the home waters as they defeat the Louisville Lightning 38-10. So, Jake, what was the main thing that Pennsylvania did to neutralize this Louisville team? They are a clicky team, as we talked about. They feed off momentum. Anybody can give a momentum at any time. You don't want to close your eyes on anybody. You've got those front five, front four, front seven, whatever you want to call them, and also the defensive backfield. But I'm going to give the defensive player of the game. This is going to sound weird. We only call his name like one or two times. He came in certain package schemes for the Keystones, but I'm going to give it to Ray Bradbury. He had that essential pick six there in the first half, and that was the momentum. He was the clicker for the ticker, and man, did Pennsylvania feed off his energy as he scooted down the field, for a 37-yard return, and he took it to the house and said, "Hey, Mama, I'm home. We got 6 on the board." Yeah, you got to give him a lot of credit. And man, as soon as he scored, you saw a different Pennsylvania Keystone team. Seriously, they were kind of on the ropes in the first quarter. Louisville jumped out to a 10-0 lead. Give Jamil Davis a lot of credit for not backing down up front. Wish the offensive coordinator would have stuck one of the fullbacks in the game a little bit longer to give him some blocking there in the second quarter throughout the rest of the game after he gave up those interceptions and he took a few hard hits. But as soon as Bradbury flipped the script on him, you could tell that Louisville's storm front was just blown out to sea. Nice metaphor there. Why? Thank you, Drew. I work on them not very often. So Jake just gave us the defensive player of the game, Ray Bradbury. The safety, he's at the third or fourth safety they bring in some package situations on the defense, and also the offensive player of the game. We'll talk about him again, Claude Vincent. My goodness, he is not a field manager.
This young gun, I mean, he's been in the league, 3 or 4 years? And he is playing like he's been here for about 18 or 19. Holy crap. The kid just did not wilt under pressure. They tried to bring the house quite a few times and, give credit to those front five. Let me just call them out by name once again. Left tackle is Yancey Malcolm, Terrence Weeks, Glenn Wilkins, Floyd Morales, Francisco Harding. All 5 of them just played their guts out. They made sure they picked up all the schemes coming out of the linebacker core, and also that every once in a while the safety blitz, and also give credit to some of the backups who had some time. Lewis Shelson and also Douglas Woodard. They came off the bench and they gave those bigs a little bit of a break, so they could continue marching down the field and have the success that they had on the night. Yeah, give them a lot of credit. And also, who would you give the defensive player of the game for the Louisville Lightning? I'm going to give it to Halapolivaati Utoikamanu. The kid is stellar. The few times that they would bring him on, especially there in the second half, we called his name out quite a few times. Probably more than I want to. His name's a mouthful, but he's not. I mean, he's a handful, don't get me wrong. He's 6'5", 340 pounds. And he just clogs up holes and makes you rethink your running schemes. And also make you rethink your blocking schemes. You're going to have to put 3 people in that dude to push him around, because there ain't no moving him. They double teamed him a few times, and he just stood both guys up. It was incredible to see. And also his positive attitude. Give him a lot of credit for trying to keep this Louisville Lightning D, gunning, trying to keep their heads up, because, this could have been a lot worse than what it was. And just when you think that they're going to crack off a big run or possibly, find some daylight, you have Omar Newberry and Halapolivaati Utoikamanu just clogging up holes and, stopping the run. Taquan must have been frustrated whenever he saw 90 across his front grill. I would be. Holy crap. Yeah, give him a lot of credit. We don't normally give defensive lineman player of the game, defensive player of the game, but in this situation, you seriously got to, just because his attitude and also just playing big when they need him. That's not a fat joke, Jake. I'm laughing at it. Offensive player of the game, who do you give it to? Gotta give it to Corey Jones. The guy just tried his best, He tried to break through. And also Trey Bartleby, give him a lot of credit. He was doing his best to try and make things happen for this offense, trying to use their feet to extend the plays and break through for big runs so they can give a little bit of cushion for Jamil Davis. So instead of a 3rd and long, you're looking at maybe a 2nd and short or 3rd and short yet. You got Marcus Ikapuna Imawana and Tim Lara. Tim Lara, jeez. Yeah, if it wasn't Ray Bradbury, breaking free for that touchdown, I would be saying Tim Lara, and maybe Devontae, Brent Hoover. Those 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, however many one's saying, were all over the place. Good grief. So I would give it to Corey Jones on the offensive side and Halapolivaati Utoikamanu. Those 2 are your players of the game for Louisville. Well, that'll wrap things up, and we will join Jackson Tate. Sorry, Jackson, for getting your name wrong. I got you confused with Whitney Jackson. But Jackson Tate from the Beaver Dam in University Park, Pennsylvania. Your final score, Pennsylvania 38, Louisville 10. Pennsylvania remains perfect on the season. And now it's over to Jackson Tate for the postgame show. Jackson, take it away.
Okay, guys. Well, thanks a lot. Good job out there at University Park Beaver Stadium, home of the Penn State Nittany Lions. Good job with the game, as, again, it was 38-10, your final. In the other game tonight, it was the Salt Lake Trappers finally getting their first win in 3 tries against the GSL Developmentals. It was 23-10. The Trappers get that win, their first win as a franchise. Be sure to join us this weekend for all the exciting GSL action on Saturday. On Saturday at 4:30, we're going to have your game of the week right here on the Sportpuck Network. The Las Vegas Outlaws against the Albuquerque Adams. Dick Schaefer and myself will be there at Dreamstyle Stadium in Albuquerque, bringing you the game. And then, of course, we've got a Saturday night game and a
couple games on Easter Sunday across the league, and then Monday night, it's Monday Night Football on the Sportpuck Network, as Dave Myers and the Colonel, William Pellegrino, will bring us the Jacksonville Captains taking on the Wisconsin Stags. Be sure to be back next Thursday night, as Thursday Night Football will return. These Pennsylvania Keystones, well, they went to 7-0 tonight. They're going to go to 8-0. I'm sorry, they went to, 7-0, 8-0, 9-0, whatever. They're going to head to Miami and be on Thursday Night Football yet again. It's going to be a total eclipse of the heart, as the Miami Soul are going to host this juggernaut Keystone franchise. So for Drew Abernathy and Jake Two Thumbs Akbehavi back at the stadium, this is Jackson Tate wrapping up the Kingman's Fish Market post-game show here on GSL Thursday Night Football. If it's fishy, it must be Kingman's. Good night, everybody. Have a good one. The Sportpuck Network thanks you for listening to this presentation of the Gridiron Simulation League.